It's great to be back here, and it's Let It Out on another Sunday here on July 25th. I'm very, 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 very happy to welcome back my special co-host, extremely awesome, talented, I don't even know what other words I can put in front of it, Rick.
Just keep it coming. I can handle it.
Yeah, Rick, I want to welcome you back to Let It Out. We've missed you.
It feels good. It feels like it's been a long time.
It has been a long time. And
I saw how you struggled without me, so here I am.
Yeah. It was tough. It was definitely tough.
You've done good, man. I've been excited to get back on my feet and get back here and have fun with you.
Well, that's awesome.
And our guests. I'm so happy this is our first.
Yeah, for your coming back to Let It Out. We're welcoming back a very, very talented guest, a blast from the past, from 2020, and we will get to that for a second. But first, let's talk about what Comics Cast is about. Rick, if you want to pull up our YouTube page, I want to say,
shoot, that's my turn.
I caught him sleeping. While he's finding that, let me go ahead and say what Comics Cast is all about. Comics Cast is our mission is, if you're an indie creator in any capacity, if you're a writer, if you're an artist, inker, colorist, publisher, you name it. If you're an indie creator, we want to get you on the show so we can get eyes on you. That's all about what Comics Cast is about. And Let It Out, which is this particular show on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is all about showcasing that creator and doing an interview along with some live drawing. So Rick has pulled up our YouTube page, and let me show where you can go there. So if you found us on YouTube, or if you found us on Facebook, obviously it's just Comics Cast, but in YouTube land, you have to put INDIE, Indie Comics Cast, in front of it, and you can see the plethora of videos that we have.
Didn't Joe tell you to stop using that word?
Well, he told me that we've gotten over 100, I think, and I don't know. Is there does plethora have a quantity limit that you can? Once you get over 100, you can't use plethora. I don't
know.
Well, here I'm asking my co-host from Denmark what the proper English.
Yeah. I'll teach you English. That's my job.
Anyway, check it out. You can see all of our old videos, and if you're so inclined, if you can figure out from looking at all those videos who our mystery guest is, and if you hadn't signed up for the event reminder, you already do know who it is. But anyway, in the 2020 area, late 2020, we featured this particular guest. We're going to look forward to hearing more about what he's done since then. So that being said, we've done all of our shameless self-promotion. Let's close that out. And I'm going to hide this right now. And I'm going to do the drum roll. And I know Rick is so...
Too late. It's Chad!
Too late!
Welcome, Chad.
He couldn't contain his excitement. He didn't even let me do the drum roll. Chad Nuss, welcome back to Comics Cast Let It Out. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here, mostly just with Gerald. Rick, he's fine.
Listen, before we started, Chad's exact words were, I just came here for Rick, and now you're changing it up just to sound macho. What the hell?
Oh, that was what we call a tease. He was teasing you.
Yeah, before you'd be comfortable on your coming back, to the show. I want you to be relaxed, break the ice.
Yeah, and then he put the ice back up.
Yeah. Now the real relationship is exposed.
Yeah, it's so good to have you, and I encourage everybody to check out Chad's past appearance on Let It Out. I forgot the exact date, but we're doing a follow-up on it because Chad.
It doesn't matter. It was boring.
It was exciting. It was exciting, but I'd like, check that out because Chad is actually going to talk about part 2. He's going to talk about what he's done since then.
Spoiler.
Yeah. And you're also going to hear about the big moves that he's making in his life. He's made some really significant things in his art career, but he's also taking it up a level. He's taking that big step. And let me show this. And this is how you can follow Chad. All the goodness here. He has he's on Facebook, he's on TikTok, he's on Instagram. You can also go to his website. His comic is it his magnum opus? I don't know what the word is for it.
Plethora. That's the word.
Yeah. Exactly. The Silence Part 1 already is out. He remastered parts of it, and I think you're thinking about coloring parts of it as well. It was collected together in a hardcover, and now he's actually Part 2 is about ready to debut in August. But there's, like I said, there's lots of new changes in Chad's life that are coming out, and we're going to talk about that. That's going to be coming out in August. So that being said, welcome to the show, Chad. We're so happy to have you. And we're going to begin this part of the show, what we call the elevator pitch. You know how that rolls. You know how that rocks. We're just going to let you have the mic and tell us a little bit about yourself. Of course, let's keep it focused on just the stuff that led up from, I guess, you're talking about your past appearance on the show up to like your career, but don't give away any of that really, really good stuff. We'll save that for the end of the show. All right?
Okay. Yeah.
Here we go. Let me share your art, and you go ahead and talk about yourself.
So my name's Chad Nuss. I'm best friends with Rick, and no, just kidding. I've loved being on the show. I love giving Rick a hard time, and I really appreciate you guys. This is, and I've told people this is one of the best shows I've ever been on. You guys are very kind and do a great job of helping to promote indie creators like myself. So I really appreciate it. But yeah, so I live in Louisville, Kentucky. I've drawn pretty much all my life, and so what you're seeing here is my main comic book, The Silence. That's my main project, and we'll talk about the other projects later. But like Gerald said, book 1 is already out. I'm working on book 2. The basic elevator pitch of The Silence, if I had to summarize it like in one line, what you're doing is you're following some broken characters as they try to find the meaning of life, which I know that sounds pretty heavy. And for a lot of people, they probably like, yeah, that's too much for a comic book. I just want my Superman and Batman type stuff. But I purposely am creating a comic book that works on multiple levels, that deals with a lot of like philosophy and theology, and that just really tries to make you think a little bit and engage in a story that works on multiple levels. I think those are the best types of stories. And so that's what I'm trying to accomplish with this book. So that's like the very like summarize as down to a kernel as I can get to it. It's the bigger picture is, I call it a space symphony, and it will take place over approximately 40 issues, if I can get all 40 out, in 4 movements, just like a symphony. And there's 4 parts of the story, which we can talk about later. But basically, you're following these characters as they're searching for these answers. And it takes place in what's called the prolegomena system, which is a big fancy name for, it's basically the first steps you take in philosophy. It's the first thing you're thinking about, how you think about things. And so as they go to these planets, they're being challenged. Their basic worldview is being challenged. And in this first story, they grow up in this kind of utopian society, and all of that is starting to fall apart. And it's really challenging what they think about life and who they are. So so I mean, I could tell you more, but that's the basic summary. What you're seeing here, we've gotten into, this is The Silence 2. This is the current book that I'm working on right now. And I'm about 90% done. And my plan is to have it completed. I don't know. Am I supposed to talk about the Kickstarter at this point? I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about at this point. But by the end of August, my plan is to have it 100% ready to go to the printer.
Yeah, that sounds great. And I was already like going down memory lane, because some of this art, obviously we did feature during your first appearance, and it is just like, it's mesmerizing me all over again. And I know Rick is particularly drawn to the number of windows that
yeah.
that you threw in a lot of these.
Oh, he's giving me a hard time.
Last time after the show, Gerald gave me a hard time for using a specific word, because I called all his details for stupid. But I meant it as in stupid insane, because I would never do that. As a viewer, you only look at a page for like 5 seconds. You don't stop and count all the windows after all. So I was just like, why? Why? But it works. It works. It might be stupid in my eyes, but it works for so many others. So who am I to say?
Okay, well, let me say one. Let me fire back a little bit. I need to push back a little bit, Rick. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing. My little catchphrase I always use is that details make unreal things look real, right?
There you go.
I'm creating this fantastic world, but I want it to have a very deep sense of realism to it. And even if you look at a photograph, you only look at a photograph very quickly, like you said. But if it's missing significant details, like it will distract you. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to do, it's good that you don't look at all the detail, because you're basically saying that this looks real. It's interesting. There's nothing that's glaring. There's nothing that's really standing out. Because the detail's there. So
my hand is cramping just looking at it.
Well, I'm going to say that Chad is trying to make people look at his pages more than the 5 seconds. He's going for 10 seconds. He wants people to look at it.
10 seconds would be good.
10 seconds.
Be nice. Yeah.
This is an example. I think this is the page that particularly we were looking at this, and I was like, wow, that's some insane textures. And then Chad goes, no, those are windows. And and I think, and Rick, Rick, I'm going to defend Rick for that. He definitely did mean it in that context. He thought it was stupidly insane. But it was, to me, it's like you said, it's adding that little, I think that's an understatement, adding that extra sense of detail just adds that it allows you to be escape to your world. It allows you to believe that you're a part of the silence world. And I think that's just crazy. I mean, it is crazy good. So we got a little bit. It's stupid in a good way. Stupid in a good way. All right, so we talked about the silence on Silence 2. Let's just go ahead and let's go down memory lane again and just talk a little bit about some of the art pieces, because this is where for those of you in our audience who have not watched Chad's first appearance, this is for you. We're going to talk a little bit about this. This is the art that just reached out and punched me in the face at first. And I looked at this and I was like, wow, look at these characters. We're going to be drawing one of these characters. It'll be a mystery of which one of these four that we're going to draw. But let's talk a little bit about these, because the two protagonists are in here, or the two main protagonists. If you want to talk a little bit about these two, I guess actually I'll just let you talk. Tell us a little bit about these four characters.
Okay. Yeah, so at some point the story will focus on all four of these characters, but the first couple issues you just see the two in the middle. That's Lazarus and Naomi, and their relationship is not 100% clear yet. I know what it is, but I'm not going to reveal it till later. But basically they're broken superheroes, and that's what I love. I love to see people grapple with their brokenness, because we all have that on some level. And so with Lazarus, he's got superhuman strength, but as you can see, he's got this breathing contraption. And anytime he wants to use that strength to defend Lazarus or defend Naomi or any situation really, that apparatus breaks and then he would die. And so he's constantly frustrated, having the strength and the ability to help people, but not being able to because of his situation. And then with Naomi, she's been given these powers. She's blind, but she can see and she can create things holographically. But the problem is, because she's been given these treatments, it's actually killing her. And you'll find that out soon in the story. You don't know that at first. So it's a bit of a spoiler, but in the bigger picture of things, she's wrestling with the fact that these gifts that she's been given are actually the very thing that is going to put her to death. And then the other two characters on the side, they're called the guards. They'll come in later, probably in the next issue or two. And they are created by this organization called the Hierarchy. And the Hierarchy is kind of like an evil government type thing that's trying to control the universe. And they've been sent out to watch everyone. And so everyone's assigned these guards. The interesting thing about them is that they're artificially intelligent. And if they ever become self-aware, they go out. I'm sorry. Let me back up. They go out in pairs, and if they ever become self-aware, they're programmed to destroy each other. But in the story, they become self-aware at the exact same time, and they realize the conflict, kind of the moral conflict of destroying one another, and so they end up turning against the hierarchy, and they join Lazarus and Naomi on their search for answers.
Oh.
So
yeah, you definitely don't want to give too much more information. I guess if you read The Silence One, you probably know a little bit about those details, but it is so interesting. What I liked about the two protagonists here in the center, you mentioned they were broken. They literally, usually when we think about broken, it's like, oh, maybe they're broken mentally or like in a relationship kind of way, or also literally physically they are broken.
Yes.
Every time Lazarus has to use his powers, it's the armor that's keeping him alive is getting damaged. And then you mentioned also about Naomi, same thing, right? She doesn't know that when she uses her powers, it's slowly killing her as well, right? Is that correct?
Yes, just the hollow. I call it holobiotics, but that treatment itself is slowly putting her to death, and it's something that you'll find out later too. It's the treatments that everyone's been given on this planet by Dr. Polaris, who we'll talk about later and draw. Yeah. So you see this interesting relationship because Lazarus has this natural desire to protect Naomi, but Naomi ends up protecting him because he can't, if he ever does anything. And you see that actually in the first issue where he tries to protect her and then ends up, it seems like he dies at the end.
Yeah, so. It's kind of like that flip. You think that him being the male character is going to be the defense for the damsel in distress, but it flips around, right?
Yeah. So she ends up becoming this very strong female lead character, which I think is really cool, and it really starts to question or ask questions about our role in society, who we are as male and who we are as female, and that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's a cool side feature to their relationship.
Yeah. Well, you got to buy the book so you can find out the entire nature of that relationship, right, Chad?
There you go. That's right.
So let's just like peruse through some of these things. It is a black and white comic. I think you were talking about possibly coloring select parts of it, maybe, but
maybe, yeah. I'm still up in the air about that. I like the black and white just because it really fits the tone of the story. Mm-hmm. But I like the color cover because the reality is, like, I've seen it on a bookshelf. And it looks better in color, like in comparison to the other. So that's just a practical detail, for to sell books, honestly. So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Here, but
wait, you want to sell books? What?
I would actually like to sell a few of these. Yeah. So
what?
I thought that doing the color to it did a lot of justice to it, and I had a lot of fun. I don't do a lot of color, so this was an early example of just playing around with digital color, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And so so this is the cover here, and I like the juxtaposition of the title, The Silence, and yet he's screaming, but it's almost like you can't hear him scream, kind of thing, So
yeah, and I totally get that, and me coming from a graphic design background. Looking at the red really just grabs your attention, and I tend to not put red and blue like this close together because in graphic design, if you're using like blue type on a red background, it tends to look like it's almost vibrating. But for this, it works because it's a static illustration. But when you use it actually creates that motion. You want that movement there to be implied, even though it's a static image. And it has so much, with your speed lines, with him, you can see like his expression in his eyes and his mouth, open. It reminds me, it's like, remember that the aliens or the alien thing, like no one in space can hear you scream, and then you have the silence here. This almost has like a very movie poster, vibe to it too. And, you were talking about it being like a space symphony. This is like the epicness of like some of the illustrations that you've created. You get this grand scope. Definitely has like that Star Wars vibe to it. the planet below and the spaceship and the vastness of space. You are so right. I think the black and white treatment, it accentuates the storytelling. So I really think you made a great choice in that. So do you want to talk a little bit about these pages, or was I flip through them?
Sure. Yeah. So this is kind of like the opening scene. You have this pilot and his spaceship hovering over this planet's name is Issachar. And we could talk about the planets later, but each of the planet is named after one of the tribes of Israel in the Old Testament of the Bible, but they also represent a different worldview or philosophy. Mm-hmm. So this one represents the philosophy of utopia, but you also find out it's actually a dystopia, but that's down the road. So anyways, he's hovering over the planet, and you're kind of listening into his thoughts of having been working for the hierarchy, what he's planning to do, his own doubts, and really just emptiness is really what he's wrestling with as he's about to engage in war, which you'll find out later why he's up there and that kind of thing. But you just get kind of this intro into this character, which you'll find out more about later. I don't want to talk too much about him.
I think what we should do is because we don't want to spoil anything, we'll just oogle and awe at like just the composition and like your idea in terms of like how you're trying to express things. Because I like from this particular, I love the I'm a big fan of the upshot, the worm's eye point of view. It adds that sense of it definitely puts you in there. It gives you a sense of scope and just you see his expression too, that thoughtful thing and expression where he's about ready to go to war. I think you really capture that emotion. He's hesitant about what's going to happen, and he's going to be, committing, he's going to be killing. And it's one of those things too. It's neat how that you've composed this shot and created that drama. And we're going to go into here. This is getting to see the character Naomi in a kind of like yeah. Go ahead, Rick.
You said you had this symphony thing in your head when you did this. For every page you're showing, I instantly get the is it Two Steps from Hell music, which is like classical epic music. For some reason, it just pops up naturally when I see this. So it works. It gets through what you want with it.
I'm a little thrown off that you've given me an actual compliment.
Shut up, Chad. I fixed it.
You're gonna go. I'm gonna take that back. But Rick is so right. I'm a big fan of that. I think it's a group of artists. They do a lot of classical, modern classical music that's used for a lot of trailer music. I've discovered them back when they were doing stuff for J.J. Abrams' Star Trek reboot, and some of the trailers that they did, I had to go look and see who did it, and I've become a big fan of them. And I don't know if that's like something in the back of your mind when you're drawing these things, but I like to personally listen to like everything from electronic music or the classical music that has probably no lyrics in it, because I don't want to have the lyrics. I just want to feel the instrumental.
It also distracts you. I feel lyrics distract you when you're working, because you automatically want to listen to what they say.
Yes. Yeah. I totally agree. I'm the same way. I like to listen to, one of my favorite things to listen to is the Blade Runner 2049 soundtrack, that Hans Zimmer. Anything he does is amazing. And it's, he does a lot of sci-fi movie soundtracks. And so I do have that in the back of my mind. And I've thought about at one point, like I love electronic music as well. And so I'll listen to that sometimes. Mm-hmm. I've thought about at some point, like trying to teach myself how to make it, because I would love to like have a soundtrack going on while you sing this, or not sing this, but while you read this. But that's a whole nother,
I have a few musician friends that are professionals. I think I hook you up with if you need it.
We'll definitely talk about that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think as a creator, we're gonna get to like some of the things that Chad's been doing, because although we're focusing here on the silence, Chad is a man of many talents. He's going beyond just the silence, and I would have no doubt after seeing some of his other exploits outside of this project, seeing that he could probably conquer music. You know, maybe like in like a couple years, we hear Chad going, "Yeah, I learned music, and I've done
like a
soundtrack."
I'd be like one of those 70-year-old guys trying to learn EDM.
Wait, you're not 70 yet? You're not 70 yet?
I'm close. I'm getting close. As you can see all the gray in my beard.
Yeah. Well, Chad.
Wait, what gray?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was gonna say, Chad, if you want a kazoo soundtrack,
yeah,
you can use Rick. Rick is he's a virtuoso.
No, I'm too expensive for Chad.
Oh, that's what it is. But yeah, you know, keep on as we're going through this. You know, I just, you know, what you said about using the black and white. You know, it's really, it is. You know, I think color. I think it would accentuate it, but it is powerful to see it in black and white. And you're, coming from me, it's like, I don't know how to ink. I can't ink well. And I look at your stuff, and you have a nice balance of leading the reader's eye, you know, through this, not going too heavy with your lines, and they all flow. And then when you want to use heavy blacks, like here in the center, just really wise choices. And I think it is a powerful way of storytelling. What are you gonna say, Rick? Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say, before we jumped away from the colors, I could see it work with really neutral and faint flat colors only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that would help strengthen it and not take too much away from the inking and what you're meant to focus on, and you'll probably drag a few more interested people into reading it, because black and white scares a lot of readers away.
I never thought of it that way, but I also think that you know, maybe you might want to just
and Ed Williams here has a good point as well. Black and white is cheaper for printing.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
I was going to say that maybe you might want to try the Frank Miller Sin City approach, and maybe just do selective color. You know, like a Schindler's List, where you just, it doesn't have to be red per se. It could be like any choice color, or maybe you just use a certain color when it's trying to set a mood. I don't know if you've read the book, what is it, Color Theory by Pixar. You know, that's how they manipulate us when we watch Pixar movies. But I think that I really think, you know, maybe that's just another reason, if you want to look at it from a marketing standpoint, you do the black and white version, then you do a color version, and that's how you get them in. You get.
I mean, that's what The Walking Dead are doing right now.
Yeah, color.
They're coming out with a colored version of their books currently.
Yeah, but this is another thing that, you know, what I really like about Chad's as a creator. He's not sleeping on the storytelling. It is so deep. I mean, it's like Tolkien. You know, you're like, you get into the mythos, you get into like the cosmos. I'm trying to think of another os that I can add to it. it's grandiose. I'm going to say that too. It's nice. You know, it's just you're really coming up with a backstory. You know, like you talked about the 12 tribes of Israel and how you're kind of weaving in some of the references that have been influences in your life, and figuring out how you can put that into the storytelling. But it's, again, here's another powerful illustration of how you're using the negative space here to lead your eye, and also that's where you're putting the lettering. You know, the dialogue. That's or not the dialogue, but yeah, it is actually. This is a quote, Genesis. So it's really neat the way that you're framing your shots here and your panels.
He already used that word, Joe. And I told him off. I told him off for you.
Yeah, I think we can't get away from plethora. I think that's just, I can't. It's going to be like, I have a bad feeling about this in Star Wars. I have to have, every episode of Let It Out has to have plethora in it. So,
like me, I have to have one swear word.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Oh, okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. So here, again, really great storytelling. I like how this upside down T, you know, here where you open up the panels, right here. It's really, you know, I think Rick is a Rick and I, and Rick more so, I think, than me. He's a well studied comic book sequential. You know, he studies the sequential more than I do. I mean, I appreciate it for what it is, but he really analyzes it more than I do. And I think this was a really neat way to come up with a creative sequential storytelling.
He does it. Chad does it perfectly. The flow and he makes sure the focus is in the right places and everything. It's top notch. I won't call it professional, but it's Chad, so I don't. So I don't wanna.
Chad. What he means to say, it's beyond professional. That's what it is. But I like. I mean, some of the things that I thought was really neat, and I don't know if this was intentional or if it was subconscious. I like how you use her weapon here that she forms. That visual device that kind of leads you into this next panel. You have this negative space, and you also have this. Her weapon actually, so even though we see this upside down T, there's an X that's forming in here as well. And just the way that it's composed, then you have like this action shot with the speed lines at the bottom. Just really, and this grid pattern that you use here for the floor, it's at the foundation. Just really well executed. I think that these are things that I think if you read a comic, and even if you're not as studied, as analytical as Rick, you can appreciate it, because when you look at it, it just works. The storytelling works. You move, your eye doesn't. It goes along the page. The story makes sense. You jump from panel to panel, and it's good. But if you don't do it right, that's when it even if you're a novice, you'll notice the storytelling doesn't work.
Yeah, this page in particular was very difficult to pull off. I was not happy with it at first, but over time I've started to really enjoy this particular picture, because there was a lot of elements I just didn't know what to do with. Like, she's in front of this black background, but that's actually a silhouette of a building, and I started putting in a bunch of windows, but it was way too much detail.
Of course you did.
Way too much detail.
Well, what was happening is Rick was on your shoulder going, "Don't do those stupid windows.
Yeah.
Don't do those windows."
Don't be stupid.
But I think that your choice to black it all out. I did recognize it was a silhouette of a building here, but then that actually
it strengthens the figure in front.
Yeah, and it actually also leads you to the center here. You have these more visual aids to help bring your attention here to the center. This is another fantastic shot.
Before we go on, Solus Griffin had a quick question. He sees the inverted T pattern you're talking about and likes it, and he wanted to ask if they were underwater on that last page, because it actually kind of looked like it.
Yeah, no, they're not underwater. They have these breathing apparatus, because the atmosphere they find out is dangerous to breathe, and so he in particular has that as well, because he has a lung issue.
Yes.
But no, they're actually up on top of skyscrapers. So.
There you go, Celeste.
Yeah. Gotta buy the book so you can really.
There you go. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I need to be more intentional with the promotion. Well, you know if you read the book.
Gerald, now he's not gonna say anything on this show.
Oh,
just
we want our audience to ask these questions, because that's the difference. We really encourage the audience participation, because this is your chance to ask those questions to find out. I'm going to use the word genesis, the genesis behind the designs. What Chad was thinking when he was creating this, and I think this would actually cement this as being skyscrapers and up in the sky, because here this particular scene, like I said, I'm a big fan of the worm's eye view, so it's kind of like you're looking up. You really create that illusion that you're a civilian, a bystander that's witnessing this chaos that's happening up in the sky, and with the shattered glass, the shattered robots, the AI. I think these are these the AI pairs that you were talking about.
Yes, yeah, there's some of those. Yeah,
yeah, and it definitely gives you that sense of scale and scope. You feel like you're that little person there on the bottom who's just witnessing all these battles that are happening above you. And again, this is Chad masterfully not having to knowing when to draw lots of windows and when not. Here we go. He's silhouetting out these buildings, and again, it's leading your eye.
How does it feel? That's now what you've become known as, Chad, the window guy.
That's fine. I'll take it.
Yeah, he wears that with a badge of honor.
I like it.
So, Joe Tolliver, our very harsh and mean boss, Ask, can we buy it directly from the website?
Yeah, I've seen he keeps making comments, and I haven't had a chance to say anything. I appreciate all the compliments. He's said a lot of very nice things, so I really appreciate that, Joe. And yeah, if you go on the website, there's a store, and you can order it directly from there. And then I guess I'll go ahead and say it. I know I'm not supposed to, but we're doing a Kickstarter for book 2 in August, and you'll be able to get the first issue.
You heard it here first, guys, here on Comics Cast.
Yeah, I know. We're supposed to like kind of wait on that, but
no, you're
I think
supposed
the question.
to say that.
No, that's
really
what we do here. That's what we do here on Comics Cast. That gotcha journalism.
Yeah, and I think that's we're going to talk about the Kickstarter that's coming in August. We had mentioned that August is going to be a big deal for Chad. But it's one of those type things. Yes, you can go ahead and buy it if you absolutely can't wait and you need to know about the Silence Part 1. I encourage you to go ahead and do that. But if you wait just a little bit longer, if you can wait a little bit longer, when the Kickstarter comes up, I think Chad is going to do some reward or some tiers that allow you to get both Silence 1 and Silence 2 together.
Yes.
So you can get that combo. Of course, you'll still have to wait because I think fulfillment would mean that Silence 2 has to be completed and you'll have to wait to get 1 and 2. But
you still got a lot of windows to do.
Yeah, that's right.
He still does. Here we have some more of that Chad kind of alluded to. This is a nice, cool battle scene, but this is the one where Naomi actually is coming to Lazarus's aid. So he kind of talked about that. You will not die today. So I think it's a really powerful image. And she's the heroine. She's the one who's coming to the rescue here. And you see this great battle scene that Chad has composed. And yet, here's yet another one. This is the power of the really black and white image and knowing when to block out your shadows and just making it really, really powerful. I'm looking at these again, and it reminds me of Will Spartacio. It reminds me of Barry Windsor Smith. All of my favorites from like the 80s. So there's enough nostalgia love here to make me take me back, but actually keep me also grounded here in the here and now and go, wow, these are modern storytelling, not from the 80s. Chad's really raised his game up with that. Are you a fan of Barry Windsor Smith and Will Spartacio?
Yeah, I grew up on on all the Image guys from the 90s for sure.
I see that.
Joe and Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri and all those guys.
Michael Turner.
Michael Turner, yeah. Like I would sit there and I would buy their comics just to look at them. I never really read them, just to see like what kind of stuff they were coming out with, and they're always super inspiring. Yeah,
because fun fact, Chad can't read.
Well, if he can't read, he does put a lot of words down himself, and
I'm a ghostwriter apparently.
Yeah, he got one of his kids to do that.
That's right.
Yeah. So really, Chad is his good. Yeah, he just does the pretty pictures, and his kids are doing all the writing. That's
right.
But yeah, so here we are. We're going into this is the cover for the Silence 2.
Yes.
Again, using the really striking red, and again the windows here.
I think that was the black and white one that you worked on, where I said it was stupid.
But yeah, look at this. It's kinetic. This is again just like that other cover, static image, but Chad is able to add a sense of motion, and you can hear. I can look at this and it's like you can feel the heat from this. You can hear the explosion, feel like maybe an earthquake, from this thing. And this is I think it's really cool that Chad has decided to color this because from a visual standpoint, this is an example, I think, where the color probably helps it, from that black and white one in terms of taking it to yet another level. We have Roy here says, I can see why this title is Silence. So very, very cool stuff. These were some last minute additions that we did a pre-show, and Chad just kept on sending me other art afterwards. so he felt like these were integral to like talking about the Silence 2, giving it some more context. You want to talk about these next 3 slides, Chad?
Yeah. So in the Silence 2, I'm really focusing very heavily on world building. So the first issue, you get an intro to the characters, but in this one, it's really going to be a lot more in depth. So this is included on the first page, and what I do with the book is the first section. There's a prologue that's about, I want to say 8 or 9 pages long of just writing, and I'm basically just giving you a background of the planet, of Dr. Polaris, and a bit of the history. And so this is just a timeline that helps frame the story. So I'm showing, as you can see here, it says the age of the earth. There's this character called the First Man that appears, and then he is also prophesied to appear 3 times. And so there's 2 appearances on Earth and 1 yet to come. And there are some definite allusions to the biblical story, but I also integrate a lot of philosophy as well. So it's not like over the top. This is not a Christian comic book, but there's definitely a lot of allusions to, kind of like what C.S. Lewis and Tolkien do with their books. And that's what I'm trying to do with this. So the first section is the age of the earth. Then there's the Great Migration, where they leave the earth and they find the Prolegomena system, which is the Great Discovery. You see the 12 planets there. And then there is the 4 movements. And so that's the main part of the story that I'm telling, are those 4 movements, the age of the hierarchy. And
spoiler alert at the end. Spoiler
alert. There is the towards the end, the Great War and the Great End. So there is an end to the story at some point. But
thanks, Gerald.
This was officially approved artwork from Chad, but I want to say that he, you can see a timeline, but there's lots of story in here that you don't see on the timeline. So you basically, it's like it's not like the Titanic where you watch the movie and know it's going to sink. There's a lot of meat that's in this timeline that's not shown here. And I think that your kid really wrote a really good story here, Chad. I think you did a really
your kid's really good. You should pay him or her more.
Good. Yeah, for sure.
Right. And then
instead of oatmeal, give them
And here, Chad gave me a map here. So like this is the geography. This is where the comic, I guess, takes place. You want to talk a little bit about this?
Sure. I see Joe's comment there. The story ends. Crazy idea. I know. I thought about being like super postmodern and let everyone just kind of decide their own ending, but
stop spoiling, Chad. We need your silence now.
So this is a map. This was inspired by a friend of mine does a podcast on the Lord of the Rings, and he goes into like all the detail of the stories and all that, and it really pushed me to really dive into the details of the story. And so I created this map of the continent that they're on. And so that this is the continent AO, and each continent, there's 4 continents on the planet. They each have letter designations. And then this is the continent that we're focusing on is AO. And so in the first part of the book, the prologue, I go into what all this means, like what these mountain ranges are, what the mist is, what the river is about. And it really sets the tone for the story because Dr. Polaris, who you'll learn about in the first issue, he is in charge of the planet, and he's also in charge of the capital city, which is AO 326, which you see off to the right there. And he uses all of the geographical elements to his advantage to keep these cities separate from each other, because he wants to control the communication and he wants to control the story or the history of the planet. Anyone who controls the history really controls the culture. And that's true in real life, but that's also true in the story here. So he's doing his best to control the narrative. And so anyways, I just go into what all these elements are. You'll see there's death fields, and those death fields were designed specifically to
separate
keep people separated. There's also little portals where the leaders can go from city to city, but no one else can. And yeah, I could get into all the details of these, but
gotta read the book.
Yeah, we'll leave that for the issue because I do describe what all of those elements are all about. So
yeah, it actually even reminds me of that Tom Cruise movie Oblivion, and you were talking about controlling
it's a great
the history and controlling it. You have these spoiler if you haven't watched Oblivion. There's like multiple versions of Tom Cruise and his I guess his control or his I don't know, I guess it's liaison, his to the hive mind, and they don't know they're clones, and so like probably don't know what all the cities are all about, but they're all separated by like these nuclear radiation zones, which is like these death fields, and I think that's so cool. It's an effective way of controlling it and controlling your population and building that narrative. I really like that.
So we're just using ComicsCast now to spoil everything.
No, none of this is really.
This is basically a spoiling show.
No. None of this.
I was looking forward to that Tom Cruise movie, but now.
So Chad, he was talking about me spoiling other movies.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about me spoiling the story. I was like, no.
If we are going that way, then Superman as Clark Kent.
What?
Yeah, doesn't feel so good now, does it, Daryl?
Yeah, I know. I feel horrible. I had no idea that was there. But here's the third part that Chad wanted me to add here, which there's a poem here, and I'm going to zoom into that. And Chad, you want to talk a little bit about this too?
Sure. So the story is in 3 sections. So the first section, you have a prologue. Then you have the middle section, excuse me, is traditional comic book storytelling. And then the third section, this is one of the pages from that. It's a running poem with a graphic on the other page. Mm-hmm. And there'll be an appendix in the back of the book that will give the interpretation of the poem. So it's very much influenced by T.S. Eliot. I don't know if you've ever read any of his poetry, but I love his stuff. And I wanted to do that. I just love using the comic book format and mixing a literary approach as well together.
Yes.
I think it just adds to the depth that you can have in a comic book. And there's another section too in the traditional comic book section where I have traditional comic book page on the right, and then on the left I have a running narrative, and you're kind of picking up that it's one of the characters' reflections. I didn't include it here, but that's part of it. But anyways, so the poem describes what's going on the page, but it's using obviously abstract descriptive language to give, to tell the story of what's going on. But
I totally love how you're creating, you're putting in the, that literary approach, your other loves, poetry, and having that, the poem on one side, and then you have it's kind of like, reminds me of like traditional fairy tale novels, or where they'll have like maybe a single illustration off to the right, and then they'll have the storytelling on the left. It reminds me of that. And then it also, you're talking about the history. It's like, this is like you're establishing the history of this culture, and you doing it in this form really is effective. It makes for breaking up just a standalone sequential page after sequential page. Really cool stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just you had mentioned the poem. I actually have it here on my computer. I'll just give you a sample. So it says, listen, a crying wind, slowly laughing and passing by, purple hyacinth, failing shadows, gentlemen made of inquiring stares, and barmaids seduced by digital absinthe. But not yet, for now they are driven by modest ends, murder and freedom and identity revolutions. Hail the mountain, uncovered secrets and poisoned friends. They travel quickly, political rules, occult and brutal solutions. I'm not reading this well, I'm just going quickly through it, but I should really like, a failing sun cannot draw their eyes upward. For time is without consequence. Count 1, 2, 3, metallic glass, and a usury of 6 pence. O death, pick a song, the one you like to sing. O death, where is the one for whom you long? Where is that cursed sting? And so each one of those lines is referring to what's going on in this picture. Obviously, the first stanza there, a crying wind, they're laughing and passing by, the purple hyacinth. I'm trying to describe this this car, this hovercraft that's coming down, and it's passing by. You think in your mind when you see those shots of like a racing car and they'll do like the grass like and the flowers like swaying in the wind from the car going by, things like that. And then it's just describing what's going on down in the city. You'll see that there'll be people kind of looking, barmaids seduced by digital absinthe. It's describing their condition of being under the influence of this culture and this worldview and that kind of thing. So that's what I'm doing with that poem, is really bringing a whole nother level to the storytelling that I think will really help give it some depth. So I
was listening to you read it, and of course you weren't doing your movie theater voice.
Yeah.
It couldn't land, but as you were reading it, I couldn't help but, it brought flashbacks to like in college and even in high school, where you would get a poem and, sometimes when you hear the poem, it forms images in your head, just like when you listen to like a soundtrack, it forms images of the movie maybe that you had watched. And when I was listening to you read it, I found myself, especially when you got to the part with like the digital apps. I will never pronounce it.
Yes.
It's like these are the people. They're the sheep. They've been seduced, and they're happy to have their the wool pulled over their eyes, and they're just totally oblivious to what's going on around them. And to some extent, they're accepting of it. And I get that. I listened to you read your poem, and I thought that was just a really clever way of not doing the traditional, here's a narrative block, here's some word bubbles, here's some thought bubbles, let's do a poem and allow the reader to fill in the blanks in their head. And just brilliant. I think that's really cool that you did that. I'm going to flip through these here because now we are getting close to our first 1 hour mark, but I want to get to our live drawing so we can learn a little bit more about some of the other characters. But here we're looking at some more of the art. This is those famous buildings with lots of windows.
Lots of windows.
Yeah. This is the explosion scene that's used, that was colored, that was used for the cover of The Silence 2 that we put. So you can still see it's a very powerful image, even though it's black and white. Here we have just these establishing shots are just amazing. You definitely get a sense of just how big these buildings are and how the populace, just seeing how many people inhabit this city. And then of course, I look at this and I couldn't help but just think, oh my gosh, that's like so 9/11. And it just made the impact of this image just much more visceral.
The important thing about this page, and you'll see in the story, is that it takes place from 3 perspectives. So the first section is from the street level. The main character really in this book is the building. And when this thing hits the building, you see it from 3 perspectives. So you see it like from the street level, which is this level. You'll see it from up on the skyscraper, which is that level. And then the very last section, you'll see it on the very last page, which I haven't finished yet. You'll see it from the mountains.
Right. I was looking to see if maybe you gave me that third image.
No, not yet.
Are you slacking, Chad?
A little bit.
Are you slacking?
Yes.
Wow.
Big slacker. Yeah.
No, he's not slacking. I'm going to say that's why you have to buy the book. You have to get the book to get the third point of view. You got to get the third point of view. But here, just seeing that this is a foreshadowing. We're gonna be going into our live drawing challenge, and hint, it may be this character right here. And you see, this is Naomi. This is Dr. Polaris. Just this shot really reminded me of Will Spartacio and Barry Windsor Smith. Just really nice stuff. Nice sequentials here. Really using thin black lines as your separate panels. So you don't have to make everything kinetic. It doesn't have to be completely like inverted T's and X's with lots of visual elements that point you around. I think this is really powerful in itself. You just need to do a simple arrangement here. And I like this, the double page spread. Lots of details going into this. And these are what you have to look forward. If you're going to get by Silence 1, and this is Silence 2, which is still It's going to be wrapped up hopefully in August, but you'll be a part of the, to give our audience a tease in terms of what they can look forward to. And definitely keep in touch with Chad, contact him, and make sure that in August you keep your eyes peeled for the Silence 2. So just, again, there's so much going on in here. And visually, it's like a visual smorgasbord. You have to go through
plethora. It's a plethora.
Yeah, yes. You're going to find yourself spending more than 10 seconds here. So kudos again to your kid for writing a really cool
Yeah, thank you.
You're doing a tremendous job of making that visually, putting that on paper, and we're gonna have to get to experience this. So that being said, let me exit this out from full screen. All right, so this is where I get to shut up, and Rick loves this part of the show because he gets to take over the talking duties because he loves his duties. All right, that was a bad dad joke. So anyway,
you're not allowed.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna set up my art cam and Chad is as well.
No,
And we're going to our live drawing number 1 is going to be Naomi. And before I get to set up my cam, I'm gonna let Chad, of course, take the lead role here. I want to show this. If our audience wants to draw along with us, please do. We encourage you to do that. And these are some visual references. I would love for you guys to just do some screen captures. I'm going to leave this minimized in the bottom. So if Rick wants to pull this up in the middle of the show, he can definitely do that. So refresh people's memories. And Chad says that he's not a great colorist. He just dabbles in it. But then I look at this and I'm like, what? It's like, just like he probably says, I don't do music, but he probably has like some Hans Zimmer score that he's experimenting in the background.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think Rick, you can appreciate this. This fashion statement that's on Naomi here. This is like Windows. He drew every little bit of sequence on on her her iridescent costume here. So he can't get away from it. That's his signature style. He has to.
He just won't stop.
Yeah,
he just won't stop.
Because he can't. All right, so
even when people are telling him to please stop, he just no. I don't wanna.
Nope.
I don't wanna.
Will not stop.
All right. So again, we encourage our audience to draw along with us. One more time, black and white, color, and from a panel showing her using some of her powers right here. If you recall, from some of the sequentials, these weapons here, she can. It looks like these are like melee type bladed weapons. I think we're going to save this for the live drawing, for the draw and talk, where Chad will talk more about her character and about these weapons and like her powers and stuff like that. But that being said, Rick, you actually have all the interview duties. It's all in your hand.
It's my duty now. Okay. I just saw Chad's camera leave again.
Oh, it left?
Yeah, it jumped out. But yeah, as Jiao tried to say, but I'll do better because I'm me. If you're not part of our art show yet, links are in chat how to join it. Go in there, start drawing along with Chad and Gerald, and post it there for a chance to be shown in during the show.
Right now.
Yep, it works now. Let's see.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Oh, it's
And I'm gonna shut. Oh no, Jaro's gonna shut that down.
All right. Okay, so Rick, let's definitely, like, if we can, solo a lot of his camera. So
I know what I'm doing.
All right. So let's draw.
You do you. Okay.
Okay.
Buddy, old pal.
Okay. All right. So Rick's the timekeeper, and he's the head interviewer here. So go for it.
Timekeeper. Okay. So let's say 15 minutes.
All right.
15 minutes. All right. You know, the last time I was on the show, I was so nervous about this part because live drawing is very difficult because you only get one shot at it pretty much. And I'm usually a very, very slow.
Well, if it's any comfort, Jaro fails every Sunday. So if he fail and come back, and his phone just died.
My phone died? Oh, great.
Yeah. It's okay. It's only your art. Nobody really looks at that.
Yeah, right. The solo, just pay attention to Chad. You don't have to worry about me.
Yeah. So, Chad, tell us a little more about this character. I know you did in the last the last one you were in, last show you were in, but for the new people, what is that to look out for?
Okay, so Naomi, as I was telling you before, she was born blind, and she discovered or meets this other character that will draw, Dr. Polaris, who has invented this technology called holobiotics. And what holobiotics are is it's a mix of nanotechnology and light and holograms to fix basically people's ailments. And what he has told the culture is that he has cured death so that people don't die anymore. So she receives these treatments in order to cure her blindness, but she also receives enhancements as a result so that she can create things with her mind, mainly hologram or holographic objects that turn into real objects. So those weapons that you had mentioned before, those are actually holograms that turn real, and she can, slice things with them and kill people and all that kind of thing.
Nice, so, kinda in the same sense as Green Lantern.
Very similar
to an extent, at least, maybe. Hard light.
Yeah. So, and then she finds out, she doesn't find out. The other character, Dr. Naomi discovers it, and then he tells Lazarus that she is dying, and as a result of these, and he's trying to keep that a secret because he doesn't want the society to find out that is a result of these treatments, because obviously then he'll lose power and control and all those kind of things. So so that's kind of her story of what's going on with her. So,
in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, that's right.
Is she based on anyone in particular that you know?
Is she based on anyone?
Yeah, because usually a lot of people base their characters on a loved one or.
Yeah, not so much. I mean, I think all of my characters have a bit of me in them. People always have mentioned, like, they'll say, "Well, you look like Dr. Polaris," or which character would you identify with? And I think that's the power of having a broken character, is that we can all identify with a broken character because we all, wrestle with our own.
So we give her a beard, and it's basically you, is what you're saying.
Sure, yes, yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Now I have weird pictures in my head.
You always have weird pictures in your head.
I was gonna say.
Weirder pictures than usual. So he's and her personality, like from start to finish, is there going to be like a great journey for the reader to follow as well? I'm hoping so.
Her and Lazarus are the main characters, and they're the ones that you're following as far as their journey or their search for answers, and because they immediately find out that this society that they've been living in has really been telling them a lie this whole time, and it really transforms what they think about life. And so that's part of the reason why they leave the planet, is to figure out what's going on with them and what's going on with the society, and why is the world the way it is, and why have they been lied to, and that, all those kind of things. And then when they go out on this search, they find that that's actually everywhere. Like, people are really trying to convince themselves that the world is much better than it actually is, or the universe is much better than it actually is. But the longer you live, you realize that it's not all that you think, that you've been told. So
Sorry, I'm gasping a little bit here because I'm just looking at Gerald's camera, and I just realized he got a new pencil.
Yeah, check out this pencil that I got.
Yeah, wow, it's so long, Gerald.
Yeah, I decided to treat myself and buy some new pencils from Walmart. You know, nothing but the best for me.
Wow, fancy, fancy.
Yes.
Peter Palmiotti from YouTube says, "Gotta head out, but I'll keep an eye out for Silent Sue. Take care, guys."
Very nice. Yeah, thanks you.
Thanks for being around, Peter. I just love how simple you actually make your characters work in a concept, but then you just add silly details in them, and that's what makes them stand out. I mean, hey, I started the sentence with "I like."
Okay. He goes, "What other word can I use besides the other S word?" Oh,
no, I liked it.
Yes.
It may be silly in my eyes because I'm lazy, but it works. Like your designs are simple, but it's the details in it that makes it intricate. Is that the word? Intricate. I don't know.
It sounds like a good word.
That's a good word. That's a good word.
Okay, cool. I can English.
You can English. So yeah, my drawing process is kind of laborious. It's just a long series of mistakes and fixes. Like as I'm drawing this, I'm like, there's so many things I would change, but we only have 15 minutes. So
that's really close to Gerald's. So. Except that he skips the fixes.
I embrace all the mistakes. The mistakes are part of the part of it. You just gotta accept the mistakes are just part of it. That's what it is.
But no, Chad, your progress is kind of like the basic comic book artist pencil progress, as far as I can tell. Just more stupid. No. I really like watching you. I do believe you had some live videos where you've done some work as well, right? I'm mixing people up again as I usually do. But haven't you had some Facebook Live videos where you've done work?
I've done a little bit of Facebook Live.
Yeah, I did believe so. Yes, I didn't look stupid.
I should have said no. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, because I'm actually on your side, and I just found a video to show as evidence if you had said no.
So yeah, like this arm is way too long, so I would fix that. I would go back in but like
you got no time. You got no time
for the sake of time. Yeah, for the sake of time, we'll just. You
got 8 minutes to go.
8 minutes. Wow, time really flies.
So I was about to say, yeah, time flies when you're having fun, but
so Chad,
time flies no matter what.
You mentioned that when she uses her power, it kind of starts killing her. Is that spoilery, or can you elaborate on that?
It's a bit spoilery, but not in a bad way. I mean
we've spoiled already.
It's not something that you find out in the first couple of issues. You'll find that out later in the story, but it's not using her powers that does it. It's her treatments that are slowly killing her. So she's still got some time before she'll actually pass away. But yeah, so I like that because Lazarus will find out about it, and so he's going to wrestle with knowing this about her and whether to say something or not. To tell someone, hey, you're dying. Like that's a pretty heavy burden to bear.
I believe you mentioned that last show as well, which I found really interesting, because that is really, how do you tell someone, and if you don't, they'll probably get angry at you anyways when they find out that you knew all along.
Yes, exactly. So that so I did love that little, that kind of just that wrestling within a character. You know, what do they do? What's the responsible thing to do? I mean, I think if I were in that situation, I would definitely tell. But you know, you if you're protecting someone, you love them and you want to, you know, you don't want anything bad to happen to them. Sometimes, you know, you can convince yourself maybe the better thing is not to say anything. It's not true, or you know, so
yeah. It's a struggle, and I'm really interested to see how that pans out. If she's gonna turn into the biggest villain of the story when she finds out she's been lied to all this time. It can happen.
Gotta get
now you have to rewrite the whole story, Chad. I'm sorry. So I'm actually curious, Jared, when did you first hear about the silence?
I think I'm trying to remember, Chad. Did I approach you, or I can't remember exactly how we met to get you on the show the first time.
I think I saw one of your shows. I think I watched one of these Lead It Out shows. And or Let It Out or whatever. And
I was about to correct you there. So.
Yeah, sorry. I think I may have like sent you a message just to say, "Hey, I watched your show, it's awesome," or whatever, and then we just started talking, and then you found out. I think that's how it went down. I'm not 100% sure, but
Rick, that was your moment for you to like chime in and said you saw the show, you saw Rick, and you said, "I got to be on the show because Rick."
Because I think Chad was one of my first
Giggity.
Yeah. I think he was my third. I think he was my third show.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, maybe it was me. Then he would have come by more often if it had been me.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. See,
so I'm trying to show Chad's as best possible, but his phone is lagging.
Oh, is it?
Oh, and there we go. Now it dropped out completely.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Chad. And I'm not gonna pause. I'm not gonna pause the timer because
he's so cruel. So cruel.
Well, Gerald, it's on you because as long as you draw, the timer will go on.
Oh, then I'll stop. How about I stop?
Okay.
How about we just we'll just extend the timer for this one so we can get Chad's camera back on here. But
yeah, I am extending it. Don't worry. That also gives you guys at home a little more time to do it. I'm looking at you, Roy.
It should be back.
Is it back?
It should be back. Is it not in?
Yeah. I see it. And to Roy here just wrote what I was about to say. That Chad, it's not we started talking. It's Gerald started talking.
I started talking.
Yeah.
Because when you start, you can't stop.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Because I can't quit. I have to follow Chad's mantra. I gotta follow what he talks about.
It should be working. No, it's still upside down, Chad.
Upside down. Okay, I'll flip it around. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And so the timer begins again.
Wow.
No,
15 more minutes?
No, not 15 more minutes. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, sorry about technical things. It just
well, we can't
for some reason. I don't understand.
Those things happen. Usually it's Gerald, so it's good to something new. Something new.
Yep. Usually it is me.
Roy says sorry about he's apparently not got a drawing this time around, but he'll be joining the Rig Challenge.
Okay.
I'm excited for that.
How much time do we have anyway?
Well, I had to pause, so 4 more minutes.
4 more minutes, okay.
But so Lester actually raised a really good point with the aquatic look of that page. A lot of your designs, even on the lead character here, has some kind of a little aquatic look to her, in my opinion. Like how she's designed with the neck and the arm braces. Something about it that looks aquatic. Was that planned, or was that thought of, that it had to that had to be somewhat in the design? Because a lot of designs, when you draw space stuff, stems from what you see in underwater. After all, it did in the older days, at least. Was that part of the process that you?
Yeah. No, that was a happy accident, I guess.
Happy accidents.
I really don't know what I'm doing. I just.
Okay. And Sarah is joining us. Finally, she sadly has classes late on Sundays, so she turns up a little later. But glad to have her as always. DJ, she just called you guest artist, Chad. How does that feel? Not even hi, Chad. Yeah.
It feels very special.
You are the favorite guest artist of the day. I'll have you know.
Well, he should be, because he's our guest.
today.
The rest of the week, then. I can promise you the rest of the week. And 2 minutes to go.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
So is there any other non-spoilery details you can talk about her? I know that you said that they're going to journey after she, I guess, saves Lazarus. They go off planet, right? Is that what? Is that spoilery to talk about that?
Yes, that'll happen in issue. No, that's good. That'll happen in issue 3.
Okay.
They will leave the planet.
And that's where they're
going to go to the next planet is that where what, sir?
I think your sound just broke for a second there, as if it's kind of censored you on purpose. And yeah, and your your art cam is out again. Your art cam is down again, buddy.
Oh no! My art cam or
no, your art cam actually works fine this Sunday.
Okay, that's good.
It keeps kicking me out for some reason.
It's funny. It's usually Gerald who gets that treatment.
That is true.
Which I usually just don't say anything to him, because it's funnier that way. Let's. Joe is telling you to scan that one. Scan your work in, Gerald, when you're done, and send it to him.
Oh, okay.
For another ink team up, like you did with your Nightcrawler, which turned out really great.
That was all Joe. That wasn't me.
Roy's here that Chad's phone goes out every time it senses that Chad is about to spoil something. Now you're already going a little into details with the weapon, like that.
Yes.
And 1 minute to go, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Better get your inks ready and ink this up in 1 minute. Go.
I know that Rick really likes seeing my expression when he tells me that it's getting close to crunch time. Sometimes he
panic.
He deliberately tells me the time is going to be expiring just so he can get a rise out of me. So.
What? Me? No. No, Gerald. I would never. But it is actually only 1 minute. Now 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put in some.
I like that you've got.
Rick.
Oh, don't put windows on her arms. That's stupid. Yeah, I'm checking Artio currently. No one has added anything yet. Hopefully next round.
I think they're just waiting for the Rick challenge, and then they're excited to draw our third character. From
the wheel of Gerald's misfortune is coming into play.
Oh no! Yeah, Chad, you haven't experienced the wheel of misfortune. That's a new thing that Rick has introduced into this show.
I mean, obviously he sees all our shows, Gerald, so he knows what it is.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Right, Chad? Right, Chad?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, time's up.
Time is up. All right.
Pencil's down.
My pencil is down.
Gerald, I can see. Gerald, I can see you.
Okay. I'm stopping. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, look at what Chad did. Oh, you said you didn't know what you were doing. What
her
are you
arm's
talking about?
Her arm's a little wonky.
Hey, you know what?
It's off.
I like wonky. This looks great.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And speaking of wonky.
Oh yeah, here's my wonky version.
That's awesome.
He tried
really cool.
He tried to copy you with the details and windows on her body.
I tried to draw those circles, but you know what? I said, you know what? I don't have enough time with 15 to 20 minutes. But I tell you, it was just as fun doing Naomi now as it was the last time that we did her. She has such a cool power set, and I like how dynamic and powerful she is. So very, very cool. Like it a lot. But yeah. So did anybody?
Oh no! Stop! What am I doing? Stop!
Oh, you're such a pro.
No, I'm not. Shut up. What did I do?
What? Let me help you here. There you go.
Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah. All righty. So did anybody draw along with us? Does anybody?
They did not, because the two that usually do it, one of them was just coming home, Sarah.
Okay.
And Roy is lazy for some reason.
Oh, you calling Roy lazy? He's probably
yes, I am. I'm calling him out.
Oh, you definitely are. You definitely are.
Jim O'Reilly is here.
Hey, Jim.
Awesome work, fellas.
Yeah. All right, that was fun, Chad. Like I said, I always enjoy drawing your characters. I think she has a really intriguing design. I love her power set and the double. She can use her power, but it can kill her type thing. I think that's a really neat paradox, or like not paradox. What's the word? I can help you, but it'll kill me type thing. And it's just one of those neat storytelling elements that you can add into it. But that being said, this is again another one of Rick's very favorite parts of the show. This is the Rick Challenge, which is live drawing number 2. Because he likes number 2. He loves number 2. He loves number 2 duties. All right, more bad dad jokes.
Wow.
So that being said, let's go ahead and do Rick. Let us know what our live drawing challenge is going to be.
Well, last show I with the chat, I had the challenge of the Muppets mixed with a comic book superhero.
Mm-hmm.
So to keep it in that sense, I heard chat. So, to keep it in that sense, this time it is going to be. The first part is going to be Marvel super villains.
Super villains, okay.
As you can see here, I got MODOK, Loki, Apocalypse, Doctor Doom, Arnim Solar, Galactus, Red Skull, Thanos, Claw, not Hulk, Maestro, not Hulk. Raven the Hunter, Green Goblin, Ultron, Magneto, and Sandman.
Okay.
So, and I'll start with giving you the villains first. Chad, you want to go first, or do you want to give the first spin to Gerald?
Go,
Gerald
Chad.
Can go.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see. Who are you not hoping for, Gerald?
Not Galactus. Not Galactus. Not Galactus. And I got Doctor Doom.
Yeah. Okay, let's see Chad. Let's see Chad's then.
Let's see what Chad got. Okay, I gotta do Doctor Doom.
No, I'm not done yet. Don't start yet. Oh. And Chad got Galactus. Okay, for you people at home, you can either follow along with either Chad's or Gerald's decision, or take one of the other from the list. And then for the next list, last time we had the Muppet Show. This time we have Sesame Street characters.
Oh, Sesame Street. Okay, all right.
So Chad, again, do you want to have first go, or are you giving it to Gerald?
I'll give it to Gerald.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Who are you not hoping? Who are you least hoping for here?
Not Big Bird. Not Big Bird. Not Big Bird.
Please, Big Bird. Please, Big Bird. Please, Big Bird.
Not Big Bird.
Oh. No. Aww.
Ernie? Is that Ernie? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom Ernie. Oh. Oh, that's
Let's be sad. With your luck, Chad, you're probably gonna get Big Bird now. That no, you get Kermit again. That was you got Kermit last time as well.
Okay.
We got Kermit last time. Let's bring it again for him so we can get some.
Yeah, let me do it.
Okay. But he's still on it, so if he lands on Kermit again, it's fate.
It was meant to be.
Yeah. Cookie Monster. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So Cookie Monster Galactus is actually a fun one.
That is fun. I would have liked to have seen a Cookie Monster Dr. Doom. That would have been really cool.
Yeah, but you got Dr. Doom, Ernie. So there you go. And if you guys will add your phones again.
Here's the issue. I've only have 11 on my phone, and it keeps logging me out for some reason.
Oh no!
So do you want me to just draw it, and then I'll show you what I've drawn, and you can focus on or do you want me to just plug it in? And we'll see how it goes.
Let's just see how it goes. Go ahead and
let's plug it in, see how it goes.
I don't
see. Don't you have an option to not get locked out?
I don't know why it keeps logging me out for some reason. I don't understand why, but
okay. Because I really want to.
And then if it drops out again, I'll just focus on Gerald's, and you'll show us at the end. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Okay. So
am I in there?
Yes, I see.
Yeah, I see you now. You haven't cut your nose here.
Yeah, that's true.
You're there. Go ahead and mount it. Let me go ahead and add it to the stream so you can see. This is what we see right now. So go ahead and do what you got to do. So I guess you need to flip the cam. Yep.
Oh, I got to do it. I got to flip it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my first day apparently.
Actually, did mine drop too?
Yeah.
Oh, let me add. Gosh. So Chad, it isn't just you. I'm also. My camera is actually acting.
Yeah, your internet is a bit fuzzy as well, Chad. Like you've been pausing a few times, but that's sadly nothing that can be hit.
Probably because you're on here.
Yeah, it's my fault.
It's definitely because you're on here.
Yeah.
All right, I think I got mine ready to go, but we'll wait. We'll start the clock once Chad has his camera ready.
Yes, camera seems ready.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so 20 minutes, right? Isn't that the usual?
Okay, 20 minutes sounds good.
20 minutes, and it's Ernie as Dr. Doom and Cookie Monster as Galactus.
Okay.
20 minutes from now.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Gosh, forgot what Ernie looks like.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like it might be a simple challenge because the Sesame Street characters are just shapes, but then you got to make him look like Dr. Doom. That's like another thing altogether.
It's a fun one. I was as I mentioned going to go with the He-Man thing. The new show was out, but you reminded me that this one was so fun last time that I had to do it again.
It was fun for you to mock me. It was
Well, it's always fun for me to mock you.
right.
Yeah, I'm expecting Cookie Monster Galactus to have planet-shaped cookies or cookie-shaped planets. So why did you say Galactus? No to Galactus so much, Gerald? Do you have fear of him?
I think Galactus is just a very complicated looking character. I mean, he has that huge headpiece with the antler style like horns on it, and it's just intimidating, very intimidating to do.
You say that, and Chad just have jumped right into it and started it.
Well, because for a pro like Chad, it's easy. So, Chad, are you familiar with the Galactus storyline? Are you a fan of the Fantastic Four, or do you have any feelings about that?
I love Silver Surfer. Is probably one of my favorite characters. I don't read a lot of comic books. I usually just look at the picture, so I don't know much story behind Silver Surfer and Galactus. But yeah, I definitely love the character, and yeah, for sure.
Didn't they make Galactus recently a good guy, like a healer of planets, rather than a destroyer, of planets?
I never heard that one. That sounds pretty interesting.
I believe they did.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Oh no, I see it now. I just googled it. They actually did, and he's now all white and golden.
What?
Yeah.
You see, I think Marvel has run out of. They're no longer they're not the house of ideas. They're the house of, let's just kill off a character, bring them back to life, or let's make a bad guy a good guy. You know, it's not. They've run out of like ideas.
Which also can be, which is also obvious in the newest Black. Oh, sorry, that was little.
Spoiler.
There was no spoiler there. That was just a salty opinion that got stuck in my throat.
Or how about this? Chad, are you a fan of Sesame Street? Did you grow up watching Sesame Street? Like, I don't know if it was even in Denmark. If they did it in Denmark,
it was.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was a huge fan of Cookie Monster, so I'm happy one of you got him. I wanted to see Dr. Doom Big Bird, though.
That definitely would have been interesting to do.
Mostly I would have wanted to see it because that was the least liked. I also had this really fun picture in my head for Arnim Solar, basically any of the characters.
I think did you have MODOK on there? I thought MODOK as MODOK as a Sesame Street or a Muppet.
Oscar the Grouch as MODOK could work.
Yeah.
And the chair MODOK sits on is just Oscar's trash can.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah, Oscar the Grouch, or Gonzo is really fun character to draw.
That's Muppet Show.
Oh,
Gerald.
Oh yeah, I got it mixed up. Forgive me. I don't know I can't tell my Muppets from my Sesame Street.
Are you even trying? You need to do your research, Gerald.
Well, you did kind of
like a pro like me.
You did just drop it on us. I can't do any research for this, So
you had at least 30 seconds of research chance before we went live with it.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite Sesame Street / Muppet of all times, Chad?
Probably the Swedish Chef.
That is classic.
Okay, Chad is out. Bye, Chad. It was good knowing you.
That was so funny, Chad.
I was wondering if you guys were going to catch that. I'm like, man.
And the funny part is, funny part is that Gerald didn't get it for the.
I didn't get it at first, but then I got it. Oh,
those who don't get it, Danes and Swedes are not good friends, and so it was based on that. At least you haven't called me Dutch yet, Chad.
Yet.
Oh,
I mean, I would rather be called Dutch than Swede, though. There's this old law in Denmark. I've told it before, and I'll say it again. That if the waters between Sweden and Denmark freezes over, we are allowed to grab our
battle axes.
No, not even our battle axes, but our farmer equipment, like for the hay fork, or what's it called?
Pitchfork.
Yeah, pitchforks and pitchforks and hammers, and run over the ice and fight the Swedes.
So why do you not like the Swedes? I mean,
it's just old enemies. Like we've been fighting for millions of years. I was about to say.
Can't bury the hatchet, huh?
Millions.
No.
Unless it's burying the hatchet in someone's back.
Yeah, that's what we do best.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know how to compare it. It's like how you Americans have struggles with different states than yours, especially if it's in football.
I guess, yeah, I don't know.
Kind of like that. Kind of just worse.
Mm-hmm.
It started when they decided to depart from the Danish Viking kingship, or whatever it's called, and make their own. And we've disliked them ever since. That's real good, Gerald, I got to say.
I'm trying to capture Ernie's, like, Ernie is such a fun character, and making him Dr. Doom is like, it's like the exact opposite of him. So.
I always mix Bert and Ernie up for some reason when I talk about them. When it said the Ernie first, I thought that was the bald angry guy, but it's not.
Oh, they're both not bald. They both have just a little tuft of hair at the top of their head.
Oh yeah, Bert does. Yeah, but he has that very long head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
how are you doing with Galactus there? I don't want to look up at it. So is it proving to be?
It's really good. It's really good. Yeah.
I'm sure it's awesome. How much time do we got anyway?
Oh fuck.
Oops.
9 minutes have been gone, so you got plenty of time. You got plenty of time still. Okay. You got 11 minutes to go.
Okay. All right.
I had to do math to figure out the time. I know when we started.
Uh-huh.
And here comes the details from Chad.
Oh, is he? I'm trying to think. Is he drawing like all the cosmic energy around, doing Kirby Crackle around Galactus right now?
He probably will.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna have to do that.
My fingers hurt just looking at that. But I'm guessing it's also something that's relaxing for you to do, Chad. Seeing you do it so much, right?
Yeah, it's good. Let your mind wander while you just fill in a bunch of windows. Yeah.
I can only imagine because I'll never try it.
But you don't know what you're missing out on.
I have a feeling.
You say that, but I've seen some. I've seen some of your paintings online.
Mm-hmm.
You put quite a bit of detail in there, so
that is true. I guess when I actually also I think I either mentioned it the last show or was just thinking it there as well. I mean, I do unnecessary details in my way, where you do it in your way, and I say unnecessary from my viewpoint, mind you guys, before you start sending me hate mail. I'm looking at you, Roy. Roy always send me hate mails whenever there's where to post images. You do that at
The
art show. Hang on, I will just link you. Jim, there'll be a link there to join in. I will, as soon as you jump in, I will be the first one to accept you, and you can put it in there. So Jim is gonna join. That's nice. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yay!
And Roy promised to join. Sarah seems like she's joining as well.
So we got about you said 9 minutes, so that's we have about
10, you got 10 minutes now.
10 minutes.
No, 9 minutes now.
9 minutes.
8 minutes now. Yeah, I'm good with math. Molly Mac coming in, say hi, Comcast. Hi, Molly. And we lost Chad's cam. But it's okay. It's fine. We'll see the end result. Just keep drawing.
Yeah,
just keep drawing, guys. Did we lose Chad completely? No, he's moving.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, as I was saying before you jumped away from it. Okay, we do details, both of us, in different ways. So I kind of agree. I shouldn't really give you so hard time, but it's just fun to do.
It's fine. I'll take it.
Kind of like you, Gerald. Actually, you started recently also to be even more intense with your details in the good way. You've really grown a lot. I keep saying that. I actually keep saying that. I know, but I have to say it. You keep growing from almost every art piece I see from you is just a step up.
Thank you. And he only says that because I started at the very, very bottom. So I'm maybe a couple inches off the ground now, according to So he's complimenting me, but he didn't tell you how far I was at the bottom.
Roy is now gotten scared and saying he's cutting back on the details. I mean, Roy, you weren't really known for your detailed work. You were known for making your fast and simple lines speak so much on their own.
That is true.
You made it simpler, but still exceptional, readable, and great. Unless you're gonna show Chad up, I doubt you can. Oh, I'd like to see a draw-off between Chad and Roy.
So do your kids watch Sesame Street, Chad? Are they big fans of Sesame Street? I don't even know. What do kids watch?
No, they do. Yeah, they're more into like
PewDiePie.
There's some Disney shows I watch, like iCarly and some of the other ones I watch. Monks. And there's the haunted one. I forget what it's called. I don't know. They're ghosts or whatever. I can't think of what the name of that show is, but a bunch of Nickelodeon and Disney Plus shows, those kind of things.
Right.
The Haunted Hathaways. That's one they watch.
Haunted Hathaway. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
Lion Guard is the big one now. Joe Tolliver says. So I don't really know what shows is popular anymore. So they're not. You're not forcing them to watch Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars Clone Wars and Bad Batch, Chad.
We tried to watch Star Wars, and they didn't really get into it. So we didn't. We didn't ever. They like.
So they were grounded, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yep. No, they like the Marvel and DC movies, so we've been watching those. Last night we watched. Actually, we watched Aquaman last night.
Aquaman.
Oh,
good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fair. That was fairly entertaining. Just to say, I finished Aquaman in one go. I have still not seen Black Widow to the end.
You didn't like Black Widow.
Joe Tolliver got his parenting skills right. I taped my kids' eyelids back and forced them to watch Star Wars. That's how you do it, Chad.
Yeah. I should probably try that for sure.
Joe Tolliver with top tier parenting tips.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what we do in Comics Cast. Not only should we show you art, we also teach you how to parent. I seen your kids, Chad. They seem to be happy and good people.
Good people.
Yeah, they must that must have come from their mother.
Definitely.
It's always good to have good people when it comes to your kids.
I didn't know what else to say, because
so we only put on certain pictures.
Yeah, because me and Chad aren't that close, so I guess good people was the best I could come up with. They're good people. Should I call them bad people? Should I have called them bad people?
No, this thing is funny. I could see at the PTA meeting. It's like Chad talks to his kid's teacher, and then your son's good people, very good people.
Good people.
Very good people.
You're good people, Chad. You're good people.
That's what I strive for. I want to make sure that my kids are good people.
Okay, 3 more minutes.
3 more minutes.
You got this one, Gerald. You sounded afraid and everything, but really, you got this one.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to make sure he looks like Ernie, because it's hard to
Yeah, I can tell.
It's because Dr. Doom. I mean, part of Ernie's charm is that he's always smiling, and I have to figure out how to do that under his mask. I am interested to see what Chad did with Galactus. That's gonna be
but the Chad just don't want us to watch. He gives his phone the blame, but we don't know. Is it
true. iPhone? Is very difficult.
Is it Android or iPhone?
It's an iPhone.
Ah, that's why. There you go. It's Apple. It's cleared. Oh, you can receive text from it, but not show us your art.
No, that was on my watch.
Oh, ooh la la! You got an Apple Watch as well.
Yeah. Ooh la la! It's so fancy.
Yeah.
Fancy, Dan. And here I thought you had gone freelance and gotten poor, but no.
Hey! Don't give any away of our stuff that we're supposed to talk at the end about.
I was actually
thinking you had.
I actually thought you had forgot, Gerald. To be honest, so.
No spoilers.
I'm not spoiling. You're spoiling.
Oh yeah. Well, my dad can beat up your dad.
Time's up, Gerald.
Time's up. All right.
And Gerald, you don't know. My dad is a mean drunk. So.
Okay. All right.
Gerald, stop.
All right, I stopped.
Oh, this is really good.
You have my camera up. Okay, so.
Well, I only have your camera up.
Oh, okay. We still have to work on Chad's cam. Okay, so I decided.
That's what we've been talking about.
I thought he was working. I was too busy concentrating on this. So,
yeah, he was concentrating on doing the art because that's what we said. He was following protocol. He was being a professional, Gerald.
Okay. Well,
Thank you.
Here's Ernie. He's Dr. Doom, and he has the instead of the rubber ducky, he has the cosmic cube. So,
Nice.
You should have made a cosmic dog.
So, pretty fun. I definitely I liked Wonder Piggy. We did Wonder Piggy last time Chad was here, so
yeah,
nice to do Dr. Ernie or Ernie Doom. I don't know what we call him. So I thought it was kind of fun. But let's go see what Chad did. Yeah, thank you. Let's see what
Let's see here.
Oh, it's kind of blue.
Yeah, hang on. Try and let the camera in the. It's your internet. That's we can't.
Oh, I can see.
Is it? It's so
faintly.
It's clear on mine.
It's coming into focus. Oh no, it's dropped. It's your.
It's too pixelated. Yeah. Could you maybe quickly take a picture with your phone and put it on Artshow or send it into a PM private message?
I guess you'd have to take the camera down
for the fact that my phone died.
Oh
yeah,
no.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
I guess we'll have to see it later then.
Oh,
hopefully you'll upload it because your internet is a bit wonky on our makes it a bit wonky and hard to see on the cam.
Sorry.
The cam is lagging and pixelated. That's okay.
Okay. Well,
you should have told your kids to not watch Disney Plus while you are on Comicscast.
Well, I tell you, if the pixelation goes away, Chad, we're gonna have you show that artwork a little later on. Okay. Rick, did anybody draw along with us in the art show?
I am checking.
Cool.
I am not seeing anything just yet, but it sounded like people. Oh, I'm seeing something now. Good.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, they went with. This is good. Let's see here. Sarah Sember. Dr. Cookies. Yay.
She took one from me and one from Chad and made Dr. Cookie or Dr. Cookie Doom.
Nice.
Very cool.
Roy. That's from Roy. I like it, but I have a hard time to see who he. Is that Ernie?
I think it's Ernie.
Roy?
It's Dr. Doom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dr. Doom,
Ernie
but
and
who's
Dr.
the
Doom,
other one?
Yeah, I had to put the hood down because Ernie's signature hair tough.
Yeah.
So that's what I. But
I see the Muppet in the character.
Right. Very cool.
Okay, Joe is just gonna be asking quickly. Are you hardlined into your internet or is it Wi-Fi?
It's Wi-Fi.
Probably Wi-Fi. Yeah.
That's probably why.
Oh, your camera looks.
I was gonna say, let's try it again.
Your face cam looks a little better.
Let's try it again. Put it up again if you can. Nope, and it just went bad as soon as you put it up.
Oh my gosh! Well, I'll tell you what. After we'll have to we'll have to revisit that a little later on. So Roy and Sarah, thank you so much for drawing along with us. Man, I was really hyped to see what Chad did with Galactus.
Yeah, from what I saw, like 10 minutes in, it was a success.
Oh, darn! You're teasing.
I'm gonna try and take a picture with my computer and send it to you. Let's see if I can do that.
Yeah, as long as it looks focused on your end. Let's see.
If it looks focused on your end, it should be working. Alrighty.
Okay. How do I send it to you? And it won't put it in the chat.
You have to put it, post it. Are you a member of Art Show? The Art Show, which is our sister page. You can post. That's where we saw Roy and Sarah's art. So you can post it there, or you can post it to your page, and Rick can pull up your personal page. Whatever's easier for you.
Okay. I don't know. I'll figure it out. We can We can keep.
Okay, you got to. I must admit, yeah, I keep looking at Chad's camp because in the background there's movement all the time, and I see one of his kid pops his head over here and there, like.
Oh yeah.
Curious.
He's like going, Dad, are you telling him that I wrote the silence? You telling him
Did you finally admit that I wrote it, Dad?
Hey, we're gonna hopefully be able to show Chad's work there, but let's go ahead and keep it moving along. So I'm gonna add this back to the stream. So we just drew. Obviously, we did a Rick's challenge, but the first challenge we did Naomi, and the next one we're gonna do. This is gonna be a challenge, I think, because this is the antagonist, I guess. Is he like the anti-hero, or is he really evil or not? I don't know. You have to read the book to find out. But this is Dr. Polaris.
Yeah.
So Chad, I don't know. I don't want to go into that spoiler territory. Is he really just misunderstood, or is he really, really just a bad guy?
Just say yes. Just say yes and no.
I don't want to say.
See. So we'll leave it at that. Well, we'll leave it at that, and we'll let Chad divulge whatever information he wants to during the live drawing part. But I'm gonna go through here. So again, look at these insane details. This is Chad's interpretation. Here's a profile shot, and I have to say, yeah, he does kind of have like a Chad resemblance to him. Look at I can see that.
A little bit, except that this guy's good looking though.
Jeez. You know, I'm gonna go.
Before we move on, it finally worked.
What finally worked?
What have we been struggling with, Gerald?
Oh, okay. Well, then go ahead and show it. There you go.
There we go.
Oh, that looks awesome.
That looks so great.
That looks great.
I remember Joe asked about it here.
There he is. Okay.
When you send me that comic, is it possible to get that sketch as well? When he just bought the comic, so if you could send it along, you'll even throw some cheese with you. But doesn't that mold before you get it?
That looks awesome. And now my camera just died. But Rick, go ahead and pull up. Yeah, go ahead and show that while I get my camera back up. But there's some. For our audience who wants to draw along with this third drawing challenge, this is Dr. Polaris, and we're gonna let Chad talk about who he is, and without giving any spoilers away in terms of
sure
if he's a good guy or bad guy. But do a screen capture of this, and then let's.
Do we have a? Was this what you were asking for, Sarah? Like close-ups like this? I think this one and this one looks. This one would suffice. Yeah,
you can see that.
It's basically just a long robe, and then he has this kind of like chest piece, as you can see there. And his face or his head, he's he's an android, so he's half robot, half human. If that helps.
I closed down the wrong share. Sorry about that.
There we go.
Half a robot, half human.
Yeah. So you see his face there.
And all powerful.
And all powerful, yeah. So if I had done it like in color effects on it, his face would actually look a little bit holographic. But it is a human face and then the headgear around him. Let's stop where you can see.
Right. Interesting detail. So it's almost like his face is like grafted onto an android, right? It kind of has that.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that vibe to it. Yeah.
Okay. All righty.
So as far as like his backstory, you'll read that in issue 2. So when the Kickstarter comes out, you'll have to buy the book. But in the prologue, I go into a little bit of his backstory and how he rose to power. But he is basically the leader of this planet Issachar, and I talk about how he rose to power. He's one of those characters that, and I love this in stories where if you have a bad guy that has a good side to him as well, so you're just kind of like wrestling with, is he a really evil person, or is he just misunderstood, or does he have wrong motives? Like even that, I've heard it kind of like this, like even the most evil people often have good motivation. Like they think what they're doing is right.
They believe
even
in
though
that.
it's wrong.
They believe in their own
Yes.
motivation.
Yeah, they're.
Yes, and I. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that a villain thinks they're a hero in their own story. That's part of their. It's part of their psychosis. You know, they don't.
Whereas I see myself as the villain in everybody's story.
All right. So let's go ahead and I don't know, Chad. Do you still want to try and get your cam totally dead? I guess right now.
My phone is totally dead. So yeah, I'll just show you.
Okay.
That. Yeah.
We're gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this character art up right now because that's you. Obviously, you drew this. So we're gonna leave this up and then I'll let Rick pick your brain about whatever you can kind of divulge about Dr. Polaris without giving away everything. But yeah,
sure.
let's start the clock. Rick, take it away.
Take what away?
The interview duty.
Oh.
All right, let's start the clock. So 15 minutes, sound good?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Yep,
so,
sounds good.
Basic origin story. Will that be a spoiler to talk about?
No, I mean it's in book 2, so you have to buy book 2. No, just kidding. But I talk a little bit. He starts as someone that has good intent. I think the perfect example of it that we're talking about before of a bad guy thinking that they have good motive is Thanos. You know, here's someone who wants to balance the universe and he has this good motivation for what he's doing, but obviously he does it the wrong, you know, in an evil way. In a similar sense, that he has like a desire to help people, but it turns into kind of a power move so that he can rise to power and be the leader and be in control and that kind of thing. So it's much like too when you look in history, you know, like you have countries or governments that start out, you know, with intention, wanting to help society, wanting to help them flourish or whatever. And then they turn into a shit because the person in power takes that power and runs with it, you know.
Right.
What was that? So
you said the S word, Joel.
Our guests, I encourage them to like speak. That's them, yeah. But your comics cast, we got to put a muzzle on you.
I only get their word per show, and I haven't even used mine yet.
Oh, you did. You
used yours.
You did the F-bomb.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. You went top shit, man.
Yeah.
Earlier, I even said, I was like, well, there's your one swear word.
So I don't even recall.
Yeah, so Chad heard it too.
Damn it.
Oh, number 2.
Damn it, it's not a swear word.
But anyway, so talking about this, what I mean, coming up with the main baddie, I mean, that's always a challenge. I mean, did you come up with your heroes first, or did you come up with the villain first? What was the priority?
I came up with the heroes first, and my intention was really to create a universe where there's not a clearly delineated bad guy, and kind of anti-heroes, I guess you could say, or the bad guys or whatever. You're always questioning, like, maybe he's not as bad as he thinks he is. Because, like, he does really have a love for Naomi and wants to help her and see that, you know, she's healed and does well and all that kind of thing, and has a good motivation in giving her the treatments that he does, and only finds out later that these treatments are actually harming her. And so in that moment, he's got to make a decision, you know, does he come clean or does he hide it or whatever, and he chooses the wrong path to conceal it because he knows if he lets it out, then he loses power. So it's one of those, you know, he started out with good intention, turned bad because it didn't go, you know, as planned, kind of thing. So I like that about bad guys because it really creates some depth to their character when there's that question of, you know, how bad are they really, and what is their motivation? What are they doing? You know, why are they doing it? That kind of thing. So.
That's why I love Dr. Doom as a villain as much as I do, because he actually his intentions are to keep his country safe.
Yes.
Well, his intention is to like. Didn't he want to like rescue his mom? Because she like her soul is like taken by Mephisto or something like that, and his whole thing is he wants to keep his. He's a sovereign. He's a leader of a sovereign nation, but his whole thing is that he'll do whatever he needs to do to kind of like conquer people to like make him see his point of view, but also rescue his mom from hell. Isn't that what? I could be wrong, but I thought that was part of his. Yeah.
I think maybe that was added later, or I do believe there's something about that. Yeah, but the point still remains. He got in his own mind a justifiable cause, which is probably what makes him so strong and so intent in fulfilling that purpose. Because if you don't believe you're right yourself, then you will never succeed, right?
Yeah, he's like the evil Reed Richards.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the same as he's a mirror version of him.
I mean, they did kind of make evil Reed Richards in the multiverse thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm also one of those guys that believe that Thanos did nothing wrong.
What?
Yeah,
taking out half the universe.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, it would work.
Well, it did work. He did that.
It's a decent solution.
Okay. I'll just say that. Okay.
I mean, of course, he could also
Gerald doesn't sound very convinced.
He could also have just used his Infinity Gauntlet to give life to all planets, all the deserted and the abandoned ones as well, and so people could move from planet to planet. Instead, that could also have been a possibility, but that just sounds hard, like more work. Sounds easier just to snap your fingers and have the population of the universe. And it'll be a few million years until it'll have to be done again.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Thanos did nothing wrong.
You probably thought that Daniel San in the Karate Kid, he was the true villain, right? Is that what
he totally was. It's basically in Cobra Kai, the series.
See, here we go.
Don't even start with me.
I watched Cobra Kai too. I think I like how it expanded the story, and you got
Daniel is an evil, egotistical bastard.
Okay.
And Skeletor was right all along as well.
Okay, yeah. So Chad, I think Rick definitely is the villain in every story because he totally sympathizes.
Oh, definitely.
I just sympathize with people that will do anything to succeed in what they want.
Okay.
I'm sorry I'm like that.
Well, there's a lot of bad people that want to succeed at certain things, and I can't get on board with that.
I agree. I'm with Gerald on that one.
Of course you are, Chad. Of course. You're with the main. Of course you're jumping on board with the main host of the show. Of course.
So let's talk about the look. I mean, he definitely has the similar facial hair to you, Chad. Was there something in there too that hey, when I decided to make him, I mean, did or create him, was there other like what other design considerations? Like what made you decide to make him kind of like that android, with a face grafted on there? Is that going to be spoilery too, or in terms of like the origins of like why he looks the way that he does?
No, I wanted it to be like sci-fi. There wasn't really a deeper thing to it other than just I like the idea of combining like technology with nature and just trying to see like explore that question of, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Can it go wrong? Those kind of questions, which, I'm not the first to pose those and with this story at all or anything like that. But I just find that to be really interesting. And I also think like anytime that a lot of times we as like humans try to fix problems or issues, I think a lot of times it's good, but we also have to wrestle with when things go wrong, and so there's a lot of times that we look to technology as a sort of salvation in the sense, not in the religious sense, but I mean sometimes in the religious sense, but we look at it more as a, it'll fix all our issues. But so he kind of represents that type of fusion of technology and humanity, and how we deal with our issues and the brokenness of this world. So.
Yeah, and I also get like it's the hubris, right? He thinks he can solve everything, but he obviously is like meddling with things, and things are getting out of his control. Like he thought he could save. He thinks
5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. He has the solution that helped Naomi, and he thinks that he can be her salvation, and then he ends up being, helping her out, but it's actually killing her. So I think that's
Spoiler.
That's not a spoiler. That was discussed. Yeah.
and true. That's true of the entire planet too. Like everyone have these celebrations culturally where everyone gets these enhancements because it turns from here's a solution to our health issues. It turns into we can become stronger and faster, and they'll use it to manipulate as well. I talked about in the prologue where he uses the promises of this technology to influence political leaders and people in power and those kind of things to his end. So he really represents that whole relationship, as I said before, of technology and our reliance on technology and power and those kind of things. So.
I was just thinking he's like evil Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs.
What do you mean? What do you mean, evil Bill Gates? He's just ordinary Bill Gates. Bill Gates is evil. Someone agreed with me.
And that's when our stream went dead. Because Bill Gates heard, and that's when Comics Cast is no longer live. So.
Bill, if you're watching, which you probably are, because I'm here. You're good people.
Too late. We're going down. So, and that was our last show. I'm interested to see where you take him, because now I was kind of like hinting. He's like, "Was he really, really bad?" And I like how I looked at Chad's expression, and he was like, he was kind of like grinning and saying, "Well, that's something that's I know what it's gonna happen, but you don't. And that's why you got to buy the book." So
buy the book, people. links are pinned in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Not right now, because right now you're here with us. Straight after.
Or support the Kickstarter. That's the other thing.
Yes, or in August, which we're going to talk about.
Can you move your drawing a little up? Thank you.
Is that better?
Yep. Wunderbar.
So we have how much time left?
You have 2 minutes. 1 minute and 10 seconds left.
Okay. I'm doing all my little circles now to try and be like Chad. That's going to be my name.
You can't be like Chad.
I know that takes too much time. But
and your hand will break.
But I can try.
You probably also believe you can fly. So I want to ask questions, but it is like there's like half a minute to go, so I don't want to get something big started.
Oh, get
and
some.
just tell the chat to too late, we're done.
What?
So I'm just gonna ramble a little bit here because I'm good at rambling. And just make the time go, as there's only 15 seconds now.
I'm good at rambling. You're not.
Yeah, I'm trying to copy you by just rambling nonsense right now, and it works because now we have 5 seconds to go, and I haven't asked a question to start a longer conversation. And time is up. Time is up.
Oh, that's why he's such a pro interviewer, Chad. He just wasted a minute saying how he wants to ramble. All right. Oh, I see my camera's up, so I guess. Oh, now it's gone. So.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. There we go. It is beautiful.
Nice.
So, Chad, I decided to make him look like he's
very good.
Like he's looking up, because I know you've done other ones where, well, I've seen other shots where you had him looking up, but this is someone looking down on him. So I thought that was it's so interesting when you can put he still looks imposing, and he still looks like what's in his mind, like what's he thinking, but he doesn't look like a angry villain. It's like maybe this is even worse because he doesn't have like those like a demonic feature or something that looks really devious or and stuff like that. But that makes him actually for a more
right.
A darker villain, because you don't know what's behind those eyes type things. But yeah, I think he's going to Dr. Polaris is going to be really, really cool to see what he does. I'm going to be interested to see if he really is that bad guy. All right. What
we got Sarah Semper's a good twin brother version.
Yeah.
In your own words. It actually, for some reason, there's some Edward Norton in this. I don't know if it's the mouth and the beard, but it resembles Edward Norton a little bit. That's cool.
I totally get that.
Let's see
Good job, Sarah. Good job, Sarah.
Let's see if Roy has stopped being lazy. Oh, he's
look at that, Chad. Oh my gosh.
It's not showing up on my. All I see is the comics cast.
Oh.
I'm sharing it. I'll try and wait. Let's see here. Do you see my face now, Chad?
Okay, now I see all 4 of you. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see the art?
Now I just see the comics cast.
Oh, that's weird.
What?
Oh.
No, the art's not showing up.
That's.
Hang on. I'll try and do this.
It's Rick's fault.
No, it's not. It's Daryl's fault.
I'm not. My hands are free. I'm not doing anything. So.
How about this?
Can you see that, Chad? Oh, did we lose Chad?
Let me see. Hold on. It might be me because. No, I'm here. Let me see.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
You're looking at it right now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So Sarah made a good twin version, and Roy just went over it and made it even more evil.
Yes, this guy
That's
definitely.
Good.
Yeah, this guy definitely looks diabolical. Maybe this is like the later iteration of Dr. Polaris once his true intentions have been revealed. We'll see what happens with that.
Someone took his sweet rolls and he doesn't like it.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Great job, guys.
Great. Yeah, thank you, Roy. Thank you, Sarah. We can always count on them to do interpretations of our guest IPs and OCs. So that was.
What about you, Chet? Let's see yours.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's see that.
I sent it to you on Facebook.
All right.
You didn't send it to me. Mine? No, I only got the Cookie Monster.
Oh, did you send it to me or did you send it to
Of course, he sent it to me.
I sent it to Rick.
Yeah, he sent it to Rick. Okay, so Rick, it's all on you.
I'm waiting for it to be sent. I don't see it yet.
Okay.
Let me see here.
URW. I guess that means you are welcome.
Yeah, I think that's a good deduction. Thank you, Sarah. We love your work.
I'm trying to get hip with the young kids and understand those kind of.
Okay. Well, you need to start using that pregnant man emoji. I think that's the new hip thing to use.
No, I call that Gerald. Pregnant man emoji. I've not seen that one.
Yeah,
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it now.
There it is. Yeah.
Hang on. And here we got.
Oh, very cool. You definitely see the mechanical.
Just simple.
Yeah. I can't see who's who. Who's who?
Yeah. It looks like a self-portrait.
That's right.
You just need the glasses.
Well, that concludes. Chad, awesome. I loved drawing along with you just like before, and we had some really cool artwork. I'm just sad that our art cam, or your art cam, kept on dying. So what we want?
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It's okay. We want people to support the next phase in Chad's career, so he can get an even better super duper camera, so it won't die while we're doing these projects. But that since we're going to conclude our live drawings, this is where this is the part that I've been kind of like really excited to share, because it's always cool to see what the next steps that our guests, returning guests, have done since we last had them on the show. And here, let's see. Roy says, "Can we go hard on Rick every time he messes up?"
I never misses a mess up. Guess what? I did nothing here that was my fault. It was Chad's fault for not being able to send the picture.
That sentence was too long. You should have said, "I did nothing here." I think that's really what happened.
Exactly. But this is where we get to the part of the show where we're going to learn about the future. What the steps that Chad has made, the big moves he's done in the last week. If you follow Chad, we already know what those moves are, but our audience, they're going to learn about that right now. So you already heard about the silence. You heard about he's a man of many talents, and we're going to show some of those other things that he does, because he isn't just a sequential comic creator who writes poems and thinks about doing score for music. He has other things that he's planning on doing, and these are all coming to fruition in August. So these are going to be big things. Yeah. So I'm going to share another thing right here. So let's talk about the next steps. Let's talk about what Chad does. So Chad, let's share just some of your other artwork first, and then we can talk a little bit about those big moves you're making in your life. So here we have the mural. You want to talk a little bit about this?
Yeah. So I also like to do like fine art, contemporary art, abstract art, that kind of thing. So this is a mural that actually is hanging in my office right now. It's 11 foot by 4 foot, and I'm intending on filling that whole space up with drawing that I make with a mechanical pencil, which sounds a little bit crazy with that size, but I wanted to put in all the windows like Rick loves so much, and instead I'm filling it with all that detail. It's obviously based on the Bible. It's filled with a lot of biblical imagery and that kind of thing. No, that is not me. Nope. So you're
doing this with a mechanical pencil? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to zoom in here.
Chad, I don't know if I've mentioned this show, but you're stupid. Stupid, insane. I mean, wow. I work digitally these days right now, and even when knowing I could make it faster for myself doing this digitally, I will still not do it because it would still hurt just setting it up.
But this is Chad.
Yeah, it's just he's using a mechanical pen, Sarah. Like
mechanical pencil. Yeah, just a rare mechanical pencil you buy at Walmart and a big piece of paper.
And look at you guys at Walmart.
Hey, I get my pencils from Walmart too. But look at the scale of this. I mean, you see here is just this center part, and Chad wants to fill up this entire pit. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
So that's obvious.
That's like a few days.
Yeah, just a few days, sure. So I would love to eventually have a gallery show or something like that that includes this kind of artwork. So that's part of what I'm doing. At some point, I want to sell original artwork online, drawings like this and some of the other stuff you're about to see, as part of my kind of business model or whatever, starting in August. So.
Yep. So we're building towards that, but let's show some of your other freelance work. You like I said, you're a man of many talents, and the music industry is calling. So while you're learning how to do your own score for your upcoming movie, you actually you do art for actual musicians. Like this is the Dirt Poor Robins. I know that Rick loves that name.
Yes.
I do. Okay.
Yeah. So this is I met the lead singer to this. It's actually a husband and wife team, the Dirt Poor Robins, and they become good friends. And so he asked me to do one of their album covers. So I did the drawing. He did coloring and put in the type and that kind of thing, and added the details on the cards. And those cards are actually artwork from his other albums and the compilation album of all their others, kind of like this type album. But they're really amazing band. And they tell story through music. So there's a symbolism that's involved even in this picture. He chose this bird man and man bird as kind of it's a symbol of just flipping the world around, that kind of thing. And that figure, it has a lot more than that, but and also just being at the edge of the earth and having the moon there and the stars, it all has symbolic meaning. So I really love working with them. And so I'm working on this project. I finished this, and then they're doing an independent film. So I'm doing some set design and some background drawings. They're doing this movie that they're doing is based in the symbolism and the meaning of their lyrics. But they're doing it in black and white, kind of a silent film style. And so I'm going to go draw some backgrounds as far as like the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars, clouds. I'm drawing a throne for one of the characters, a zeppelin, and a rocket ship. So that'll all be put in the film. So I'm pretty excited about that project. So.
That'll be interesting. It kind of reminds me of like theatrical productions where they have to do the set designs behind it, and you said it was going to be like a silent movie. So I think that's going to be interesting to see your art.
I just first realized now that the bird in the cage have a human head.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what Chad was saying. It's a flip. It's a flip. Yeah. The man is in the cage where the bird is outside of the cage.
Yeah. Yeah, and so they shot the whole thing in green screen, and I've already seen the album that they've made, and so where I'll be doing drawings and I'll insert those and use some of the programs to get those things. So it's really expect.
Very cool. Very cool. So here we have another artist. I think it was 3 Golden Ropes. Is that the name of the group?
Yeah. So, no, this is the same guy. He wrote this story and he wanted me to illustrate it. So these are the illustrations from the book. It's called the 3 Golden Ropes. It's a short story. You can get that on Amazon. So I did all the illustrations for the book, and so these are sample illustrations from that. That's a cottage in the woods. The basic story is there's a traveler that goes into the woods. He finds 3 pits, and there's people in the pits that he wants to get out. And so he finds this cottage and this wizard-like figure that gives him these 3 golden ropes to go back and rescue these people in the pits. And so and here he has the ropes and he's running back to go find them and that kind of thing. So. And then all the type would be up in that area. Here's the wizard type character giving him the ropes. There's the 3, right there, passing the ropes to him. And then the next one is him discovering the 3 pits. And there's people down in there, and so it's got that kind of Art Nouveau type look to it.
Yes.
And so yeah, I was able to do all the illustrations for that book, and another cool project.
Yeah, when I look at this, it also. Are you familiar with Charles Vess? It reminds me of Charles Vess style artwork.
I've heard his name. Yeah, I've heard his name. Yeah.
Yes. So Rick he can draw not only all these little tiny windows, but he can do every leaf on a tree as well, and the bark.
Yeah, and the bark. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he just don't like his hand. His wrist is already made of metal, apparently.
Yeah. So very, very, very neat. So as we keep on building this, you can already see that he's doing lots of freelance work that shows his being able to do both the sci-fi as well as this kind of this is a foresty, almost like a fairy tale style as well. Now we get into here. This is another style So check this out. This is this oil paints, Chad?
It's acrylic. This is in progress. It's not all the way finished, but yeah, it's just a self-portrait painting. So I'm trying to teach myself actual physical painting. So this is just a little project. Like I said, it's not all the way done yet. So, but it's something else I'm trying to get into, and would love to sell paintings at some point down the road. So.
Yeah, well, you're off to a fantastic start. I mean, even like this, even though I don't know if these are all work in progresses, but the studies themselves are very compelling. It makes me want
I started out doing oil paintings traditionally.
Yeah, just really.
You're doing really good.
Yeah. I mean, well, thank you. And the goal with this is I only use the primary colors, so I only have red, blue, and yellow. So, and I try to catch the color just using those. This one's a bit green, but either way, I like it. So
you can get a long way with just those three, after all, and you nailed it.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
Now, Chad is not only doing traditional painting; he's also doing digital painting here. And look at this, Rick. This is.
I thought that was just a picture.
I mean, that is incredible.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So this one's still in progress as well.
The water effect.
Yeah. So this is. I did this on Clip Studio Paint.
Yes.
And tablet. To promote. So I'm gonna start a Patreon in August, and I'm just offering a $5 kind of buy and say, and for that $5 every month I'm doing an artwork of the month, and so this is the one that will be featured in August. So I'll do like process videos, talk about other videos, tutorial videos, that kind of thing, and then I will actually give this print to all my Patreon subscribers digitally. So I'll email that, and then I'll pick one patron, and actually give them either a physical copy of this print that I've signed or original artwork or something like that. So it's one of those things where I think it's a good, like, if you invest in my art and what I'm doing, and also a good thing to give back to those people. So every month there'll be a painting that I'm working on, or on something that all of my patrons will be able to have for themselves.
So you heard it there. It's another thing that Chad is going to be doing in August. He's going to be doing a Patreon. He'll create an account, and you can follow him and be.
Sarah already wants in.
Oh yeah, so there we go.
Yeah.
You already got one person who's
your first patron.
Yes, exactly.
That is amazing, and I would say it's already set up. I haven't officially announced it except for right now. I'm gonna officially launch it in August, but you're welcome to get on there right now. Just look me up on Patreon, and you'll see my account. So
yeah,
and let us.
And then in the Kickstarter, which we.
Oh,
what's that?
Lose him? Oh, your voice is going in and out. So repeat what you just said.
Oh, sorry. the Patreon page is already set up, so you can go into Patreon and find my account. I am officially launching it in August, but you're welcome to go check it out and be a part of it now. And then when I do the Kickstarter in August for the second book, there'll be a tier for those people that join Patreon. You'll get a discounted rate on the actual books for the Silence too. So there'll be some incentive to be a part of the Patreon as well. So.
Yeah, and so definitely make sure that you follow. You can look him up on Patreon. Just type in Chad's name, but you can also just make sure you this everything that's in the scrolling ticker right here. You can get in contact with him and follow him that way as well. And I'm sure he'll announce all those official dates. But also one of the other things that Chad is experimenting with is because now he's just becoming the consummate entrepreneur. So here we have his getting into t-shirt design here, and I gotta say these are some really intriguing designs. I'm gonna go through these, but feel free to talk about why you want to go into like t-shirt and graphic design type stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So I have a bunch of conceptual artwork that it sits on my wall. It's not for everyone, so it's not one of those things that I think people would like buy or whatever. But I thought on a t-shirt, it's really compelling. Whenever I go to a store, I never find shirts that I really like. I mean, if you think about like you go to Target, for example, and they have like the Nirvana shirt. Like I like Nirvana, but I would never buy that just for the fact that Target sells it. I'm just that way, I guess. And so I wanted to make shirts that are personal to who I am. And I think that other people that like conceptual art would really get into. So, anyways, I like some of these, like this one here. Some of the other ones are easier to talk about, but like this one, I don't know which one you're flipping. Okay, this one with the blue, and the on the right is a man with a virtual reality visor on, and then on the left is kind of like a logical argument of what is real, what is not real, kind of thing. So that's a more involved t-shirt, whereas the other ones are a little bit more striking visually. The one below it, this is about pluralism. So there's an actual car you can see split up, and on the same car it had the coexist bumper sticker, and then it said on the other side it said, "Don't believe everything you think." And I thought, what a huge realized, because they've adopted this pluralistic postmodern perspective that is self-refuting, but a lot of people don't see it that way. They just see it as a means of philosophical freedom, when really it's self-defeating. So the other picture is an actual mental hospital, and so I spliced them together as kind of a statement. And this one here, this one is about happiness. So, sorry.
Oh,
okay,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So this one's about happiness.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. And on the top is a cathedral, and at the bottom is a shopping mall, and then the middle is a splice of both, and how we're looking for contentment and happiness, and that a lot of times consumerism can kind of fill that void that we're looking for, or we attempt that void we're looking for, that some people find in religion or belief in God or whatever, or some people replace consumerism or things with what other people find in a relationship with God, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to talk about that, that relationship of ideas with that. So I like these kind of shirts where they make you think, but they're also striking visually. So kind of makes you stop. What do you got on your shirt, kind of thing. So
yeah, these definitely make these are probably the deepest t-shirts that I've ever seen in terms of, like, you talk about thought provoking. But yeah, so like we're gonna continue going down. Yeah, we continue going down here. This is Chad doing some more abstract thought art, and you want to talk about these too?
Yeah, so these are this is pure abstract art. It's basically I'm taking ideas and diagramming them out. A lot of it has religious and philosophical themes to them, and I do a lot of them on acetate or transparency on plexiglass. I just love the look of that.
On what? On
so,
S tape?
Yes. There's my
acetate?
curse word for you on acetate. You're welcome.
Acetate.
Acetate.
Oh.
Transparencies.
Okay.
Yes. Film. And so I'm trying to build up a series of these drawings that I eventually would love to do gallery showings and sell some of these as well. So, and the next slide, you'll actually see from my office home, I have a big plexiglass mounted on my wall, and I'm mounting the transparencies, and this will be a pretty big project as well. It's going to take some time to get done, but this one's about wisdom and what wisdom relationship to God, or your belief in God, and how those two relate. Taking a lot from Proverbs and just themes that you see there. So there's the bigger picture of it. It's maybe a 10-foot piece, 11-foot piece of plexiglass by 4 or 5. So it's pretty big, and it'll be layered too. So I'll have like multiple plexiglass, and all the ideas on each layer will relate to each other. So it's going to get pretty in depth. So that'll take a while to get that.
And this
was a fun I had. Yeah, so and this has been done before, so I'm not claiming this to be original, but I just took photographs of a self-portrait and put them on transparencies, or acetate, as our friend Rick says, and then just molded them together. Oh, sorry, acetate. Yes, and just put them together into kind of like a 3D sculpture. So nothing too crazy. So.
Yeah. So I think that concludes like a lot of the other art that you've been doing, but let me get this out real quick. All right, let's get you back here. So Sarah says this a comment, this glass project reminded me of how in the 60s and 70s Disney animation used to draw backgrounds for the movies. Yes, that is true. In fact, they would do like these really complicated ones. It was almost like multi-story things where these were like several feet high, and they would move the glass, and they would paint on it, and that would create that whole thing. It definitely reminds me of that. But that being said, you can see, our audience, we want everybody to know that Chad is just, the silence is really something that he's really pushing right now, but he's more than just that. You got to see a lot of the fine art. You got to see his graphic design. You got to see the T-shirts, the mural. His influences, just incredible work. And now we have something to look forward to in August. And I want to get this thing straight. So in August, we have not only the opportunity with a Kickstarter where we're going to have give people the opportunity to get the Silence 1, but the Silence 2 as well. It's going to be a Kickstarter, and I'm sure there's going to be all sorts of goodies that you're going to have as tier. As stretch goals, and maybe tiers of how you can get more silence related stuff, maybe some original art.
It's funny you say that, and I don't mean to disappoint anyone, but I'm actually keeping it really simple. It's just the book. I'm just doing the book. And the reason why is because every time I've ever done a Kickstarter, like I've supported a Kickstarter and someone sends me a ton of stuff, I just want the book. Like all the ton of stuff is nice, but all the stuff just gets thrown away. And so
thrown away. Wow. Okay.
Just get lost. But the first Kickstarter I did include a ton of stuff, and it's just a headache. So I'm just like, what? I want people to have the book. That's the main thing. So the tiers are literally, and it's going to be a small, like, I'm not trying to raise like a ton of money, just enough to cover the printing. So the tiers are literally like, you get the PDF, you can either get the book or get both books or get multiple books to share with someone else. And that's really going to be it. So it'll be a very simple campaign and just to get people involved. So, yeah. But
yeah, well,
there's other stuff that they can get involved with. So like, as you were about to say, yeah, you could do the Kickstarter, but if you want more, it's all under the umbrella of what's going to be called the Silence Arts. And that will be my freelance art and comic business. So I will be doing freelance work for anyone. So I do commissions and drawings, illustrations, all that kind of thing. So that will start. That project's already lined. So I have a limited flexibility with what I can do. Long term to do is to do, and so yeah. So just to rehash, the Kickstarter comes in August. The Silence Arts is being launched in August. The Patreon page is launched in August, and the T-shirt design work will be launched in August as well. So there's
I hope all that got through, because your net is starting to lag even more than usual, and your sound is jumping on and off. But I think we all got it, that most of your stuff will be coming in August. Your Patreon, your comic, your T-shirts.
Yes.
And what else?
It's the whole. I guess we kind of jumped the gun, Chad, because I really wanted to like frame this all under one thing. Is because Chad, his.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. No.
Before we go to that, I actually have a late one here from Joe Tolliver.
Oh.
From his last.
That looks
awesome.
Insane.
That's awesome.
Good job, so cool. Joe. Yeah. All right.
So I promised him to drop that in when we were kind of shifting gears. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yes, August is silence art.
Yes.
Silent August. Silent August.
Silent August. That was awesome, Joe. I'm just going to because you were breaking up there, Chad. I'm going to just do a little summary about so basically. Sure. I want to make sure that everybody knows. And we kind of caught the cart before the horse. That was my fault.
Sure.
I didn't get a chance to really do it. What Chad has done since the last time he was on the show is if you follow Chad like I do already, Chad has made a monumental decision in terms of what he wants to do with his art career. He's decided to pursue it full time. So Chad has already. We didn't even talk about his fine culinary skills. He definitely had another job before, but now he's decided to basically quit that job so he can pursue art full time, and that's where the silencecomics.com. I think you said the new site is it called the Silence Projects, or what is the new overall site?
I'm still working through that. Right now, you can look on this Comic-Con, but it will probably be the silencearts.com. Will have everything on that site.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So the Silence.
That's not up yet. So that'll launch in August.
Okay. So look for that in August. It'll probably be the Silence Arts. I encourage everybody to look at the bottom right here in the scrolling ticker and just follow Chad that way first. And that way, when he launches the official site, where all that goodness, all the Chad goodness is going to be, you'll be the first to know. And that's where Chad is basically going with this. He's going to pursue this full time. And that's why you see all this great artwork here with a Z. What is that?
I don't think that's a C in anything.
Okay, yeah, I think it's going to be the Silence Arts, so that'd be ARTS, not Z. So just follow Chad.
Yeah. Chad is an old man. He doesn't use that hip thing about changing S's with C's.
Yeah, so that is the big deal. This is what I want to express to our audience. I want you to look. Chad is a good. He's a friend of Comics Cast, a friend of mine personally, and to hear that he can make this kind of commitment to his arts is, we talked about this in the pre-show. It's a calculated decision. It's a calculated risk. Chad has definitely thought this through. It's not decision that he took lightly. And, he talked to his wife, he talked to his family. And this is something that is always great to hear when an independent creator can put themselves 100% behind their art. And that's what we're going to see. August is going to be Chad month. Basically, we're gonna see a lot of things happening, and I encourage everybody to follow him on Facebook, follow him on Instagram, TikTok, everything that you see right here, and you'll find out when all those things are going to be available. So Kickstarter, you're going to see the T-shirt, the shops, the Patreon. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening. So I'm so happy that you were able to be on the show, and despite the little technical difficulties and some of this. The bandwidth and some of the lag, I think we got through it. I got to hear a lot of it, and I think our audience did too. So this is the sad part of the show where we're gonna have to start saying goodbye, and we're gonna do the last part of it, which is the Oscar speech. So I would love for the mic. The mic is gonna go back into your hands, Chad. Hopefully we won't have any lag. And I would just like for you to tell me or tell our audience what the future is, and if you have any final thoughts. So it's in your hands.
Sure. Okay. So hopefully, my mic doesn't do crazy things. I apologize about that. But I just wanted to say thank you all very much for having me on the show. You guys are wonderful hosts. I know I give Rick a hard time, but I really do enjoy hanging out with him online and getting to know you guys. And Gerald, you're always awesome, and I always appreciate hearing from you online as well. I'm very excited about the future. I was really hesitant for many years to do freelance and to really go full time, just because of the security of having a 9-to-5 job. But we're at a good point in our life as a family. So it is a calculated risk. It's something that we've thought a lot through, but it's also something that I think could really work out and be successful. So I'm hoping that you guys will be a part of the Kickstarter, will support me on Patreon. And if there's anything commission-wise that you would like me to get involved with, I'd love to hear from you and consider it. It's one of those things where, and Gerald and I talked about it before, like I feel like with art, you're given a gift. And with any gift, it's something that you should use to serve other people. And, I'm a Christian, and so that's one of the things that I want to do is to use my life to serve others. And so I think freelance and doing art is one of those ways that I can do that best. So I've loved the opportunity to draw for anyone and to continue working on the silence and putting out books. And I'm looking forward to the future for sure. So.
Wow. That it didn't break up that much because I heard every bit of it. It was really, really, really cool of you. That was a great Oscar speech. So that being said, thank you so much, Chad. And it looks like your resolution got really, really focused there for a second. So it's sad that it's going in and out there.
Okay,
well, good. It's the kids and the Disney Pluses and the Netflixes and
well, I guess Chad had to talk about that. Yeah, no Disney Plus during the next broadcast. Because I'm going to say this right now, Chad, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome to come back here anytime. And when you have those,
not anytime, preferably on Sundays.
Yes, right. When there's a next, in August, on Sundays. But on when you do have those links, you let us know. We'll put them on our Facebook page. Okay. We'll get Rick to sing from the top of the mountains, about how awesome Chad is.
You don't pay me that much,
well, we don't get paid at all. So there we go. So here we go. So thanks so much. You just let us know how we can let everybody know about what you're doing. I like I said, it's a thrill to hear what you're doing, and I got nothing but praise in terms of you being able to make that kind of decision. I'm looking forward to hearing all sorts of good things about the future for you. So thank you so much, Chad. As we end the show, like all shows, we want to talk about our charity partner. So let me do that real quick. Share screen, and here we go. So add that to the stream, and here we go. All right. So our charity partner, goldenfight.org. Golden Fight. They're an organization that I like to say is big enough and small enough at the same time. Small enough in the sense that they are not a super big organization. They have a very focused approach. It's in the mid-Atlantic region where I live, Virginia, Maryland, DC. And that focused approach allows them to do what they do really well, which is huge, which is their mission is to help families who have children that are dealing with terminal illnesses or very tragic illnesses like cancer. And that's where they're big. That's where they're huge. The money that they raise, 98% of it goes directly to the family, because when families are focusing on the healing of their child, inevitably they will experience financial difficulties. And that's where Golden Fight comes in. They help fill in the gaps. They help raise money so parents can focus on their child. And like I said, that 2 or 3% that they use from the money that's being raised, that goes towards administrative fees. A lot of the leadership does this does it on a volunteer basis because they know what kind of an impact this has on families. They know from personal experience, maybe they've had family members or friends that have gone through this trying circumstance, and that's how they came up with Golden Fight. They want to be able to help families that are dealing with that. So if you have time, please check out goldenfight.org. We have no financial ties to them. We do this because the co-founder of ComicsCast, Joe Tolliver, he's good friends with the leadership at Golden Fight, and we just feel it's really great to get the message out there. So if there's a charity you want to check out, worthy charity that you want to support, please consider Golden Fight. And that's it. I want to end the show. Let's stop this, and I want to pull this up one more time. Follow Chad. Chad is going to be making big moves in August, and we can be more proud to know him and hear that he's making waves. He's making some big moves, and that's awesome. So that being said, Rick, you want to say any final parting words before we close out the show? All right. Chad, you got him speechless. He has nothing more to say. So that being said, thank you for watching us on ComicsCast Let It Out. We will see you next Sunday. And until then, keep being creative. Keep on drawing.